Welcome to RCTV, and the Spring-Ford Rams will be hosting the Perkiomen Valley Vikings tonight in the Pioneer Athletic Conference Liberty Division. Winner take all, get the right to move on to the essentially the championship game next week. Spring-Ford Rams coming to this game at a 7-1 clip. PV is 6-2, and both of them are undefeated so far in the conference. I'm Dave Pence, along with Nick Elsner. We're going to be your hosts tonight as we bring you live streaming coverage of Rams football. Well, this is it. This is the showdown. Every year when that schedule comes out, this game is circled, and right now the juices are flowing. The players are out behind us getting warmed up, and you can hear the yelling and screaming. So, Nick, what do you think is going to be the key tonight to this game?
Dave, I think that the key to tonight's game is going to be ball protection and keeping those emotions calm. You got to keep your head in a big rivalry match like this.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's going to be rowdy. It's getting rowdy now, and we're a little bit from kickoff yet, and this place isn't even packed. They're expecting a near record-setting crowd tonight. Both teams feature one of the best quarterbacks in the area, the top two quarterbacks in the area. We have Ryan Ingro for the Rams, and we have Cole Peterlin for the PV Vikings. And they're able to sling it and throw it around. Tell us a little bit more how Ingro has done this season.
Yeah, Ingro has had a record-setting season. He's thrown 22 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions, and that is an amazing ratio right there. Ingro's also really deadly with his feet. He can run the ball if PV decides to go with double coverage on his wide receivers.
Yeah, absolutely. Ingro is, and he's really progressed nicely throughout the season and improved a lot. On the other side, we had Peterlin, who he can throw it out. Number 3 for PV is going to be a nightmare for the Rams defense. They need to contain him. He can scramble. He can throw. Like I said, he's a mirror image of Ingro. The one thing I think the Rams do have an advantage is the fact that the Rams have 4 weapons on the outside at Ingro's disposal.
Yes, that is right. He has Noah Baker, Dante Bonani, Stephen Brill, and Nick Teets, the sophomore. Noah Baker has 9 touchdowns. He leads those 4 receivers in that category. Dante Bonani comes up close behind with 7 touchdowns. And the Rams tonight, they're going to look to throw a lot of screen passes to Stephen Brill out of the backfield, or Mason Brill, excuse me. It's going to be a big game tonight for the Rams offense and their wide receivers, and it's going to be interesting to see how they utilize the offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And that offense last week featured their best running attack of the season against O&J last week in the 30-7 win. And if PV's going to come out the same way and try to shut down that passing attack, we're going to look for Brill out of the backfield and even Ingro on some keepers to get some big-time yards. So, we talked about the offensive side. What about the defensive side? What do the Rams need to do in order to keep this game close and be in this game and come out with a victory?
Yeah, for the Rams tonight on defense, they've got to keep the ball in front of them. It is going to be essential to the victory tonight, and they need to be careful with penalties. You can't get too aggressive and try and get big hits on guys. Just tackle him, wrap him up, and bring him down.
Well said. I could imagine Coach Brubaker right now is having that same conversation with his team, because last week they're coming off a game that was a little sloppy with 12 penalties on their side. O&J had 11, so they want to really clean that up. You don't want to have penalties swaying field possession or, keeping your defense and keeping drives going for PV. So, tonight we have an excellent matchup between 2 top teams in the area. It's going to be ruckus. It's going to be crazy. And we'll be right back with kickoff right after this.
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to McNally Stadium. Tonight, I'm Nick Elsner, joined by Dave Pence. We're bringing you Springford football versus Perkiomen Valley football. It's the Rams senior night tonight. It's the rivalry, and here they come.
Yeah, you know they're fired up tonight. You know, Coach Brubaker said they were ready from the end horn of that OJR game. They're pumped up and they're ready to go. We got a great crowd here on senior night, as we can see, and they want to smash the pumpkins.
Yeah.
We know they want to take it to the brown and orange tonight.
That is for sure, Dave. Emotions will be high. It'll be an electric game tonight. Lots of offense.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully, you know, the Springford come out. And I think one of the keys of the game that we didn't talk about is if you do get the ball first, you want to put points on the board right away and put the pressure on the other team. And if you go out defensively, you want to come up with a stop and get the ball in your offensive hands. And what a beautiful sight tonight. We have the band out there welcoming them in. We have the parents of all the seniors, and what a terrific atmosphere for Friday night football.
It is really something special here tonight. It's the rivalry. There's nothing like it. You know, it's one of a kind.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what things do you see different? You know, you're in the high school. What things do you see in the high school that makes it such a different week?
You know, they're doing this thing this year called the 10K Film Challenge, and it was something that Penn State did, I believe, a couple of seasons back, where you film yourself, and it's just basically like a way to heighten the emotion. You know, talk some trash, get the rivalry going a little bit. It's just been a fun week at school. Everyone's been talking about the game. You know, the Springford tradition for push-ups. If you say the brown and orange name, 10 push-ups.
Yeah, I think I'm clear tonight. I think I might be exempt from the brown and orange, but we'll keep it that way for tonight.
Yeah.
As you know, we can hear that. You know, the PV crowd, they get into it, and
yeah.
Hopefully our fan base here is going to rival theirs, and it's going to be electric tonight.
I think a big key to this game is going to be the fan base. You know, if the fans can rally and get these football teams going, it could be the difference between whether or not you get a nice drive and score or whether you get forced to punt.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we were talking during our pregame, big implications tonight. Whoever wins this game plays in the conference championship game next week. And Coach Brubaker said on his show, the gridiron, that if, you know, looking ahead, you know, you don't always want to look ahead. You want to take it one game at a time. If they win these last two games, it could potentially land them a top 4 spot in District 1, which would be incredible. You get home field advantage almost throughout. And it sets the tone. Springford right now sits at 6 at a 7-1 record, and PV's number 9 in District 1 with a 6-2 record. So it's big time here. Not just a rivalry, but within District 1.
Yeah, this game means a lot as far as the circumstances. I guess you could say consequences. Usually has a negative connotation, but the consequences of this game. If you win, you get a nice reward, home field advantage possibly.
Absolutely. You know, and they're going to have a good ranking no matter what, you know, win or lose this game. But obviously, you want to be playing your best football right now going forward, getting to the playoffs, getting that championship game for the conference, and then moving on and having getting good momentum for that district playoff games that will be coming up. As we can see, Coach Brubaker and the players on the sideline will be getting ready. You can see they're pumped up. We have a good shot of Stephen Brill, who was coming off his best game last week against Owen J. Roberts. Ran the football real well. He's really instrumental in the passing game on some quick screens. So we might be looking at a big game for him, especially if they start doubling those wide receivers, like you said in our pregame show. So right here, we're going to have our Springford Marching Band lead us in our national anthem.
And we get a look at Springford's student section. They're ready for this game to get started. And as we just observed on the sideline, we saw some of the Rams that we thought we were going to be starting were out for this game. They weren't suited up.
Yeah, so two big key injuries. We have Kyle Kennedy and also Sam Brogan on the offensive line. So, something to see into. You see that interior line, they got to shake things up a little bit. So, something to look forward to, look at and see if the people taking their place are going to be able to hold up and give Ingro some time to throw the rock around the yard here. So hopefully that will hold up. So Springford's, they were going to receive. So just as we talk about, we need a jump start. We need a fast start here.
And both student sections have been very vocal tonight already before the game has even started. It's gonna be a long game, but a good one tonight. Andrew Yoon is back for the kick for the Rams. He has had a pretty good year as far as carries and reception yards for the Rams. It's been a nice asset.
Yeah, so at this point, you just want good field position to start off, protect the football as he is back for the kick.
He gets outside, tries to turn the corner, and he is swallowed up by the PV defense.
All right, so it'll be Springford football 1st and 10 around the 26-yard line.
Now, Dave, for the Rams offense here, you said, as you mentioned before the game started, you want to try and get points on the board on this first possession. If the Rams can get points on the board in their first possession, how do you think it will affect the outcome of the game?
Yeah, it just puts some momentum in your favor. You're here at your home crowd. You want to keep them fired up, and you want to keep the brown and orange quiet on that other side. As we see, the Rams take their usual 4 wide receiver set, and they hand it off up the middle to Brill.
Brill breaking a couple tackles there for a gain of about 6.
Yeah, good start. You want to get positive yardage right there, running up the middle, trusting those substitutes that we talked about that are going to be playing on the interior for the interior line here. We have Walter Malicious, I saw, is in there at right guard. Great size in there, and so hopefully they'll be able to get a push consistently this game.
And the brown and orange got inside on that one, and they were able to make a stop.
And that's second consecutive carry for Brill. And you can see it looks like they want to establish that run game. Looking to see if maybe the Springford thinks they have a good matchup here with a little bit of size on the inside. And, not their typical fashion where you come out and run. Usually Springford comes out throwing, but right here it brings up a 3rd and 3. So I imagine they're going to throw it, maybe get Ingro on the move on a little rollout.
We got 2 wide and a tight end back. Ingro with the keeper. And he will get the first down. And that's a prime example right there of Ingro using his legs. He's a dual threat quarterback, and that's something that the Rams have really taken advantage of in this season.
Yeah, and you can see his ball skills there, faking that little sweep to the outside, and is able to carry that up in the middle, get some hard-on yards, and a good second effort there at the spin. With the spin move at the end, it's enough to get him the first down, keep this drive alive.
And that's what you like to see. You like to see 4-down football, and just moving the chains 10 yards at a time. And Ingro's flush in the pocket.
And Scarcelli, not sure if they're going to rule this an interception or fumble or not, but he never really had control of it. It's definitely, to me, looked like up here an incomplete pass. And yes, it is called that on the field. So close there. You don't want to give them any free possession, any short fields. And we talked about that. You got to protect the football. And maybe Scarcelli's eyes came up a little bit, checked out where the defenders were before he looked at all the way in.
As you mentioned, Dave, it is going to be a huge, huge part of this game. You've got to keep the ball safe, protect that football. Ingro taking the snap. He steps up, throws deep, and he overthrew his man.
Yeah, unfortunately, he had Brill running up the seam there and overthrew him by just a little bit. And at the end of that play, Ingro took a shot. So, again, we talked about the interior line has to hold up with some new helmets in there trying to protect Ingro.
Yeah, if they let the brown and orange get to Ingro early, it could be a rough night for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ingro's first 2 attempts in this game are incomplete, but he'll settle in. He'll get some guys wide open. And we can see, PV's defensive alignment, they're going one-on-one here. So the Rams have some favorable matchups on the outside, and they'll look to take advantage of it for sure.
As long as that offensive line holds up, Engro should be good to throw. And he's going to keep this one. Breaking one tackle, and he fights for a couple extra yards.
Looks for about a gain of 3 on the keeper. Didn't like what he saw on the outside there, so he decided to tuck it and go it. So here it is, 4th down, and a big pivotal play here on their side of the field.
4th and 7, the Rams the ball in their own 42. This is an interesting decision to see from Coach Brubaker so early in the game.
Yeah, this is a big-time decision, big-time gamble. He has faith in his offense. He has faith in Engro, faith in the guys on the outside, and we'll see what they're going to do. They're going to snap the ball, and actually Engro has a nice quick punt, get a favorable bounce here, and it'll go out about the 22-yard line. Yeah, so like we said, it would have been a real gutsy call to go for it there. Real good punt by Engro, and unfortunately the drive stalled, but they're able to, put PV back and not quite such good field position at the moment for their first drive of the game.
And we'll look to see what PV can muster up here on their first drive of the game. They line up with 3 wide receivers and 1 man in the backfield.
And that carries there by Austin Riley on kind of an end around little jet sweep. As you can see, they have a lot of motion in the backfield, a lot of ball faking, and like we said, Peterlin, he really knows this offense and can really run it well. So they have to be aware, and they have to play containment this entire game. As you can see on the replay here, a lot of motion, a little bit of a sweep action. He had the option to keep it.
That's just good blocking there from the PVO
good
line.
setup. And there's a quick pass from Peterlin on the outside to number 15, Ryan Freed, and that will probably give them their first down of the game. Yeah, sorry on that. It was Mike Doherty. I had the Springford Rams roster in front of me there.
PV with the first down, a little bit of pitch. And he gets around the corner and picks up about 5 on the play.
And that's John Mocha there on the carry. You can see there he has some speed to get on that outside. Good job of pursuit there by the Springford defense. And during our pregame we talked about how Peterlin, you could see here on the outside, they toss it to him on the outside to get out there real fast. And good job of pursuing here.
You can see Nick Del Romano makes a great defensive stop there for the Rams.
And again, run up the middle to number 23, Austin Riley, I believe, again. So both teams uncharacteristically coming out here and running the ball, trying to establish the run game more so than the passing game. We thought both of them would come out here throwing, but they're looking maybe it's just the way the coaches want to get both teams settled down, run the ball rather than pass the ball, get rid of some of these butterflies, kind of get the emotion settled down so they can start playing some smart football.
Yeah, I would agree with that. If you're trying to get your team to settle down and settle into the game, you don't want to be throwing 15, 20-yard passes that could possibly be picked off or overthrown or underthrown. It's just not a good recipe for success. So I can understand the coach's play call for trying to get the run game established here early on.
Right, and there's another run by Amosha for another 5 or 6 yards. And they're getting the run game going. This is their second first down in this drive.
Vikings move the ball up the field. They're on their own 46.
There's a keeper by Peterline, and then he is able to get 14 yards into Springford territory, and he is tackled at the 40-yard line.
That's the 3rd PV first down of this drive.
Yeah, it's a big keeper. You can see the lane opened up, and he read that beautifully. He has that kind of read option play where he can keep the ball, possibly hand it off or pass, and he kept it there and read that well. And that's the problem he presents for opposing defenses. He's very athletic. As Springford comes on a blitz, flushes him out the pocket.
He's running again, and he'll get pushed out of bounds at around the 35-yard line.
Hey, again, it's a good job by pressure up the middle. They flushed him out of the pocket immediately. So you could see the defense of Springford had enough. You could see the blitz coming up the middle. You could see two of the linebackers ended up coming up the middle, and Peterline read this right away and flushed him out immediately. And he's running to his off-arm side, so it's hard for him to throw the ball. They'll take him scrambling to his right all night. Ideally, you'd want to see him go that way when he gets flushed out of the pocket.
One thing that shows you how much of an amazing athlete Peterlin is just his ability to run the ball when he gets flushed out of that pocket. He turned a dead play into 5 yards of positive yardage there for his team.
And this brings on a big 3rd down and 2. This is definitely going to be 3-down territory. As you can see, the inside handoff to number 33 for PV, and that's Jacob Strom. Has a good size to him. Very stout running back, and gets some hard-earned yards up the middle to bring that to 3rd and 2. As unfortunately we have a PV player down. Number 64, Matthew Wilhelm, is down, and hopefully he'll be okay, as he is a good sign there. He walks off the field on his own power.
Springford has allowed 3 first downs on this opening orange and brown drive here. They've got to come up with a defensive stop because PV's a little far out for a field goal right now.
Yeah, and PV is yet to, they're moving the football, and they have yet to attempt a pass, which is not their usual MO. So they're establishing that run game. So Springford needs to stiffen up here and hopefully be able to get this PV drive stalled and get their defense off the field.
Peterlin takes a snap, hands it off in the jet sweep.
And that is Moshe on the outside. And it looks like he has right at the 1st down marker and appears to have enough for another PV 1st down.
They will move the chains.
Yeah, so the ground game's definitely working for PV at the moment, and has Springford reeling a little bit. So right now they have a fresh set of downs, and hopefully Springford gets some penetration here and possibly force a negative play and make PV possibly throw the ball or change things up just a little bit.
They need to get pressure on the quarterback here, you know, in order to get negative or to push PV back. And you see another run pass option, and he takes it. He'll be downed.
Appears to be another 1st down, so another rush of 12 yards. And again, they're just running. And that is yet another 1st down. That's 5 first downs on this drive alone to open up the game for PV.
And as we take another look at this play here, you see he's reading as he's being sweeped out, and he just decides to cut up the middle.
Yep, so Springford has to work on, number 1, they got to work on contain. They got to keep him, turn that ball up the field, and don't let him get outside. Because, again, he can run with the football. He's a tough quarterback to defend.
And we see he's looking for a pass, and he evades a sack. And he's throwing to the end zone. And that one will drop incomplete.
Ooh, some anxious moments there, Nick. I'll tell you, it looks like they had a sack, had him dead to rights. He spins out of it, then reverses again, and he actually had 2 guys open that kind of broke free in kind of that scramble drill. And he had 2 guys in the back of the end zone, and they looked like they were fighting each other for it. And fortunately, it dropped harmlessly to the turf here at Springford.
And that could have been very bad for Springford here, as they do not want to let PV score on their opening drive. They want to contain PV here, give up as little points as possible, try and get that ball back with good field position.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's good penetration there. They, like I said, they had the sack. We needed that penetration. That'll bring up a 2nd and long, and that's just what Springford needs. Is we have pre-snap penalty, probably illegal motion on PV, so that will set them back. Delay a game call. So not good clock management by the brown and orange, and that will march it up 5 yards back, and it'll be 2nd and 15. And down here in the red zone, you certainly don't want to have those pre-snap penalties. It's tough enough things get bunched up down here in the red zone and setting yourself back 5 yards by your own doings, just a tough way to make a living down here.
Peterlin takes a snap. He drops, and he's got pressure, but he evades again.
No, there's a penalty flag on the play as Peterlin gets all the way down to the 1 yard line. Looks like they had him dead to rights on a sack. Very elusive. We're here. The referee's going to make the call, and we have a holding penalty on the brown and orange. So disaster avoided there for the Rams, and that'll push them back another 10 yards.
So it'll be 2nd and 25 for the Vikings. As we take another look at this play, we see that Springford got pressure up the middle, and Peterlin's just too quick. For Springford, you got to make those tackles there. If you get your hands on a guy, you've got to bring him down. They can't get around you.
Yeah, great work there by RCTV camera crew and that replay showing where that hold took place. And fortunate for us, PV thought they got a break with him escaping that sack, and then they had the hold. So that pushes them back even more. So Springford Rams have a chance to shut this drive down, see what they can do in 2nd and long.
And he throws a quick screen to Mocha.
Oh,
and he's
man,
got
good
room.
Cut. Out. He's out about the 8 yard line. So a quick bubble screen actually is a long handoff. He was behind the line of scrimmage on that. And that gets all those penalty yards right back, and it puts him about in a 3rd and 2 at this point. You can take the replay as we see here for our good camera crew.
You see Peterlin takes a snap, and he fakes a handoff and just mushes out there, and he just cuts up field when he sees daylight, and he gets pushed out at about the 8 yard line.
Yeah, it was about a 22-yard gain on 2nd and 25. So a real big play there. Good job of reading the defense. He actually comes up under center for this one. Quick snap. Rolling out. Oh, and they catch a break. Wow, unbelievable. So Peterlin had his receiver on the outside. He had his number 1 receiver, Isaiah Dumming, out there, who has 10 touchdown catches on the season. Comes up short as we see our replay right here.
And you see Peterlin rolling out to his favored left side, and the ref made a good call there. The wide receiver did not get his hands under that ball, and when that ball touches the ground, it is an incomplete pass.
Yeah, big play right here. We have 4th and about 3 for the brown and orange, and we're going to see what the Rams defense is going to dial up at this moment.
There's 5 seconds on the play clock, and I don't know if PV is aware of this.
And they call a timeout, so we have our first timeout. Well, whoa, with some anxious moments here in the first quarter. Springford looked like they had a little bit of a drive going. They were able to get a couple first downs, but PV really came out here and did something they're not characteristically known to do, and that's run the football, Nick.
Yeah, you said it. PV both teams were looking to establish that run game, and PV really came out the better team on the opening drive. They were able to move the chains. Springford only got 1 first down, and I believe PV had 5 first downs. And they were just coming up big and making plays. Springford's defense has got to step it up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tough spot. I mean, this is a big moment in the game. Good stop. You swing the momentum back your way. Technically, PV could get a first down without getting a touchdown, and Springford could still hold them. But right now, this is a big stop. This is a big moment. This is when you look for your seniors. The big man inside. We look for number 64, Walter, to get some penetration. You look for some defensive pressure on the edge. Oak Fritz Robinson, hopefully number 88, he can get some penetration. We need some big plays from somebody in big moments, and here it is. This will set up a big-time 4th and 4 coming from the 5 yard line.
It's a low snap. PV still getting it off to Moshe. And he's
spins, and he is able to get the first down. Good at second effort there on the outside by the PV player, unfortunately, and that will give PV a hard-earned first down.
And it will be 1st and goal. As we take another look at this play, you see that was just a low snap. Peterlin deals with it, and he gets it out to Moshe, who Nice spin move there in second effort, and he's able to get the first down for the Brown and Orange.
He actually caught that ball behind the yard to gain there, and unfortunately, a little bit of a move, and he's able to gain the necessary yardage to get that first down. But unfortunately here we got Peterline up the middle, and they are able to corral him. He gains about 1 yard down to the 2-yard line.
Nick Del Romano with a nice defensive stop for the Rams.
And that's what they need. And even on that pass we saw in the previous play where they got the first down, they had Moshe coming across in motion, and the person that's covering him has to come all the way through that defense and gets kind of muddled in some of that defensive traffic and enabled him to be wide open for that reception. Unfortunately, they're unable to stop him short as we see a good shot down the line of scrimmage here. The ball at the 3-yard line sets up a key 2nd and 3 yet again.
Peterlin under center this time, and he's looking, and he looks to take it, and the Rams swallow him up.
Maybe about a loss in the play. Good job right there. Looked like a little bit of confusion on that play. Looked like they wanted to get a little bit of a quick hitter to Peterlin's right there, and it was well covered on the outside by number 5 for Springford, and he did a nice job out there, and that's Nick Yuba. And you see the Peterlin is scrambling. He just had nowhere to go, and we had a collection of blue jerseys all over that one. That'll bring up a 3rd and goal from about the 3.5-yard line.
Peterlin gets a snap, looking to run it for himself, and he's swallowed up, and he will lose some yards on the play.
Yeah, great penetration up front. Again, you can't even pick out a number. There's so many blue jerseys there, but I'll tell you, he made the wrong read. If you take a look on the outside, he has his running back, number 33, right there on the outside. He was ready to go. Sturm had the whole outside, and for whatever reason, fortunately for Springford, he did not pitch that ball and turn it up inside and had nowhere to go, as PV will send their place kicker out for a field goal attempt.
Braden Basel will kick that one, and it will be up and good. PV leading the Springford Rams 3-0 here with 2:56 left to play in the first.
Man, that was, even though they only gave up 3 points, that was a big-time Ram stop. I'm very pleased with the fact that they only gave up 3 points. If you think about it, they had PV 2nd and 25, gave up that long, kind of a lateral, quick hitter to the outside, a gain of 22. They had 1st and goal from the 3-yard line, and PV's unable to convert. So right there, the Rams defense, they bent a lot, but they didn't break. And that was a key stop right there, and that could go a long way in this football game.
Andrew Yoon is back to return the kick for the Rams. On his last return, he took the ball out to about the 25. Let's see if he can get some yards here on the return.
Yeah, we have to give it to that Rams defensive front line. They did a nice job of really digging their heels in and only giving up 3 points. That's big time play right there.
And Yoon gets it, and he gets out wide. And about the 27-yard line.
Yeah, it'll be 1st and 10 here for Springford, and hopefully that defensive side gives a little juice to the offense here, get them going a little bit. The Rams tried to establish that run game. They were able to get a couple plays up the middle, some 5-yard runs here, 5-yard runs there, get a couple first downs, but when they needed it, they couldn't convert on that 4th down. So hopefully here we'll see what Coach Brubaker has in mind. Are they going to stick to the ground game, or are they going to start going through the air? As we can see, PV's just going man-to-man on the outside, and I think that's going to really play into Springford Rams' favor with the better matchup.
And you see Angro does look, and his first pass is at the ground. I don't know really where that one was going.
Yeah, I mean, a quick slant. Nick Teets, had a guy on him, and maybe Ingro saw him at he was a little too tight, so tried to put it in just the only place where Nick was going to be able to grab it, and the defender couldn't get to it.
For the Rams wide receivers, we have Scarcelli on the near side, Max Bunn and Dante Benani on the far side, and Angro decides to keep this one as his wide receivers were not open for him.
Yeah, and unfortunately he had pressure right up the middle there by big number 79 for PV, and he's in the backfield, Cedric, and they got to keep the penetration, especially out of the middle. The one thing that's really hard when you're a quarterback is getting that pressure right up in your face. It's tough to step up into the pocket and get something on your throw. So that'll bring up a big 3rd and 7 here for the Rams.
If the Rams want to stay in this ball game, they have got to move the chains, Dave. And right now, Angro throwing, caught over the middle.
That's going to be right at the sticks. Man, that's a big-time hands grab by Nick Tietz, and I think they're going to give him enough for a first down.
They are going to mark him about a yard in front of those markers. And as we take a look at this replay here, Angro takes the snap. He fakes the handoff, and it's just a nice short slant route to Nick Tietz, who showed a great display of hands there.
Oh, it's a fantastic catch. It was a contested catch as well, and Ingro put it in the only spot where Nick would catch that ball. And you can see on that play, Blaise Scarskelly's getting a lot of room on the outside as well. So hopefully somebody's seeing that, and Ingro seeing that as he takes this keeper up the middle, and we'll get it back to the line of scrimmage.
And that play is blown dead as both lines were pushing Angro. Angro did get a yard on the play as he turned nothing into something. And that's just a good second-hand effort there.
Yeah, and on that first down, that was Ingro's first completion of the game. First completion of both sides. Go figure with that. We have some of the area's most prolific passing offenses. As we see, we have somebody coming on the outside, one of the offensive linemen, and Coach Brubaker saw that they were set up in kind of a weird formation. You see it was a little bit of a trick play as number 57, Colander, was coming out from his left tackle position, coming out split on the right side, maybe for an extra blocker, and Coach Brubaker was aware that things weren't right and calls a timeout.
So we've seen both teams opening drives here, and obviously PV moved the chains very efficiently on theirs. So can you tell us a little bit about Springford and what they need to do to succeed?
Well, I just think they need to settle down a little bit. We're seeing some penetration up the middle, and like we said, we have Kennedy and Brogan out. They took their 2 usual starters up the middle. Has been playing great all season, and that's unfortunately coming into a little bit of a problem here for Springford. There's penetration by PV on pretty much every snap, and Springford just needs to maybe call some plays, maybe some rollouts, maybe some jet sweeps, some quick bubble screens, and kind of stammy that PV blitzing up the middle and kind of counteract that penetration that they're getting.
Angro takes the snap, and he is flushed out of the pocket. He'll keep this one, and he'll running into his own blockers, and he will get to about 10 yards. I'd be interested to see if the chains move on this one.
I think he's going to be about a yard short on that one, but good blocking up front, good play fake, and you can see number 20, Stephen Brill, gets ahead of Ingro here, and he puts on a whale of a block on one of the brown and orange guys' hats right here, and you'll see him coming up, and he'll attack his guy right here. Boom, and you can see him just blowing him up. Great job. That's what you want to see, that effort out there. And unfortunately, at the end of that run, he ran in one of his offensive linemen, Colander, on the play, or would have been able to pick up that first down. So big-time play right here, 3rd and short.
Another thing that made that play so nice was that Angro's linemen were up there blocking for him. And Angro gets brought down from behind as he escapes from the collapsing pocket and picks up a first down for the Rams. And this is more of what we'd like to see from the Rams here. They're finally moving the chains. And as we take another look at this here.
Yeah, you can see Angro takes a snap, looking to throw, looking downfield, didn't have anybody. Wise decision, pulls it down, and you can see the athleticism. Angro sees him and has a guy who's one-on-one on him, and he makes a miss and is able to pick up plenty for the first down.
And Angro's looking to throw. He'll throw into traffic.
Uh-oh, and that ball, the refs are looking at each other here, and I think it's going to be PV ball and an interception. I'm not quite sure. What are they going to call? And it's PV ball. Boy, we'll have to take another look at this. This was tough as Ingro throws this into traffic to Noah Baker. Noah Baker got spun around, and I lost the ball. Couldn't see it from up here, and we'll see if we can get a good replay, a good shot of this. And regardless of what we see on the replay, it will be 1st and 10 PV at their own 40-yard line.
And that's what Rams wanted avoided. Let's take another look here at this throw. Engro throws right through Baker's hands and just into the hands of Randy Washington.
Yeah, unfortunately, we could see that. It was a clean interception. Unfortunately, off the hands, Ryan threw that into traffic as we got a timeout by PV, and there's the first turnover of the game and it was in PV favor.
And that'll tack on another interception to Engro's 22 touchdown to now 3 interception ratio.
Yeah, we haven't seen many mistakes from Ryan all year, and unfortunately, right there, he made one. You can test. Maybe it should have been caught. Maybe not. It was thrown into traffic, and hopefully the Springford Rams defense come up with another big stop right here.
The first quarter is almost at an end here at McNelly. 33.9 seconds on the clock. The brown and orange leading the Rams 3-0. We'll see if PV can muster up some offense in time to get down to the end zone at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, so Springford just needs to come out, just dig their heels in again at the end of that PV drive. They were getting penetration. They were getting some shots at Peterland, but they need to get him to the turf. They can't let him escape that pocket, unfortunately. As he's throwing deep, has a man. Oh, it's going to be overthrown. Good coverage by Nick Yuba on that play, following his receiver all the way down the sideline.
And that's a smart play by Nick Yuba there. He's following his runner, and he's got a hand on his shirt, but his eyes are on the football. He's not looking at the wide receiver he's marking.
Yeah, and the other thing, you didn't get nervous. A lot of times you see guys get nervous when that guy maybe gets a little bit of separation and could get a little grabby, and he didn't do that. So good job on the coverage, and PV, that's one of their first shots that they've taken down the field.
2nd and 10, ball on the PV 40. Peterlin will hand it off, fake, and he'll throw it. And there's Albert for the Rams to make a nice defensive stop.
Yeah, it's a nice open field tackle. You get a very shifty person receiving that ball, and Austin Rowley. And James Albert comes up and makes a great open field tackle, as you can see, on kind of like a middle screen, a little delay over the middle. He comes from the left side there and has a lot of blockers in front of him. And Nick Albert stays with him and makes a nice open field tackle, and this will bring up a 3rd down and 3 for PV at the end of the first quarter. PV with a 3-0 lead over the Rams. We'll be right back with second quarter action after this.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
When it comes to saving money,
What?
don't act like a baby.
Oh, it's like they're having their own little meeting.
This is so humiliating.
Be the boss.
I'm the boss.
What the?
Power nap. You were saying.
And make a budget.
Let's get to work.
Need a little help?
Stacy, read back the notes.
I can't read. What's it say?
Create a personalized savings plan and get other tools and tips.
We can share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
At feedthepig.org.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We've got some second quarter action here from the Springford PV game at McNelly. And as you see, the first play of the second quarter, second quarter was an incomplete pass thrown by Peterlin.
Yeah, great run blitz there by James Albert up the middle, gets free, puts a good hit on, forces a 4th down, and looks like PV is going to send their punt team. So again, Springford after that turnover, they dug their heels in again and now are forcing a punt. They had a great goal line stand. So PV defense here, Springford defense here is bending a little bit, but they're not breaking in key moments. Short punt, and that'll certainly take a PV bounce, and that'll get down inside the 20-yard line, roll up to about the 15-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Springford.
And Dave, you mentioned in the pregame that special teams is going to be huge tonight for these two teams. And obviously we didn't get to see a punt return there because the ball was a short punt. But what do you think is going to be a key factor for these special teams?
just ball protection. Coverage, as we know, Springford had some issues on the defensive side of special teams on their coverage units. Gave up a couple of long returns, but they really seem to have shored that up. Coach Brubaker, talked about how he has the right people out there now, people that want to be out there, and special teams is kind of about an attitude that you need. You have to have a chip on your shoulder, and it looks like appears that he really has found the right unit out there. So hopefully the coverage unit will be on point today.
Anger throwing over the middle, complete to Noah Baker. And he puts a nice spin move on, and that will be a gain of about 30.
Yeah, I'd like that call right there, because the last pass that Engro tried to attempt was to Noah Baker, went off his hands for an interception. We can see here Noah Baker had a quick slant. Ryan Engro right until he cleared that middle linebacker, and Noah Baker made a nice hands catch in traffic and a good run after the catch. Big play, Springford.
And Engro to throw again. Slant pass caught over the middle.
Scarcelli on the catch. Another big catch by Scarcelli. Good physical finish at the end. Now we have the Rams clicking on all cylinders and getting this crowd back into it.
I was just about to say that. These two electric plays here at the beginning of the second quarter, and Engro has a keeper, and he sees daylight. He'll get out wide, and he gets sandwiched, but he will pick up the first down for the Rams. This is what you like to see from the Rams offense. This is the Rams offense we know.
Yeah, come out and get 3 first downs, 3 big chunk plays, and they're marching right down the field. Now they have a 1st and 10, a fresh set of downs at the 36-yard line. You see Engro for the keeper. Breaks contain, gets to the outside. Good hard finish for Engro for the first down for the Rams.
And this play is blown dead. There's some flags on the play.
It'll be a false start on Springford. Unfortunately, this is what you don't want to see. As PV did it to themselves too when they were marching down at this end of the field on their first possession. They got sent back. They got a couple penalties, and now, unfortunately, right now we have a false start, and that will set back the Springford Rams 5 yards. And just when they're gaining momentum, they had 3 big plays in a row, and then you get that mental mistake of that false start, and this is what will drive the coaches crazy for sure. So right now they just need to get something positive. You have 1st and 15, fresh set of downs. Just get a little bit back at a time here. All is manageable at this point for Engro and the Rams.
Engro in the backfield. He takes a snap. He's looking. And that pass is almost intercepted, as he looked like he had a little bit of miscommunication with his receivers on that one.
Yeah, it almost looked like Scarcelli was going to look like he felt like he was going to get a clean release off the line, and then unfortunately there at the last minute, looked like with his in that 5 yards chuck zone, he got bumped off his route just a little bit, and that ball went harmlessly incomplete, and that'll bring up 2nd and long for the Rams. They just need to get some yardage and get them back to 3rd and manageable.
The Rams have 4 wide receivers out and 1 man in the backfield. And PV bringing the pressure. Engro's flushed out of the pocket. He's looking to throw downfield. And his receivers trying to make back. Scarcelli trying to run back and help him out, but he is pushed out of bounds before he can make the play.
Yeah, at first I thought Engro was going to be able to get the corner and actually, get some yards on that one, but he decided, Blaze was working hard, as in the scramble drill, you work back to your quarterback, and you called it, Nick. He was coming back, working hard, and it was right along the sideline, and unfortunately Scarcelli was unable to make that catch as he was trying to tightrope the sideline. And again, it brings out a situation where it's 3rd and long. You want to get some yards here, maybe put yourself in a situation where Coach Brubaker will decide to go for it. So we'll see what kind of play call they have dialed up at this moment.
Engro gets dropped in the backfield about 10 yards back, and that is a big blow to the Rams offense.
Yeah, I was watching the receivers on that play, and they were all running some long routes. It was taking a little bit to develop, and Engro really had nowhere to go. And you could see him looking downfield, and he had 2 people up in his wheelhouse there, and there's nothing he could do, and he's dropped for the sack, and it'll probably be a quick punt at this point from Engro. Hopefully we'll be able to pin PV back, kick it to the corner here. Engro, see what you can do, young man. And he does that, and that is a good punt. That's going to roll way down into about the 7.5-yard line.
I like that play call there from Brubaker, where he doesn't send out the punt unit, and he just has Engro utilize another athletic aspect of his and just pin that ball in the corner.
Yeah, that's a good punt. There's no chance that's going to get returned. You're just hoping you're going to get a favorable bounce You could see Dante Benani on the outside was sprinting down as a cover guy to corral that one before if it was heading toward the end zone, keep it out of the end zone. And this forces them deep. So Springford, great start to the drive. We get that penalty, and all of a sudden the wheels fell off of that drive, and now it's PV 1st and 10 from their own 7-yard line.
Dave, I mentioned in pregame.
Great stick.
And I'm going to mention it again. The team that capitalizes on the opportunities that are presented to them is going to come out on top. And Springford with a great opportunity as they were marching down the field.
Right.
But a silly mental lapse held them up.
Yeah, on that play, I thought the Peterlin gave it to Sturm on the outside, and I was excited for the tackle. It was going to be a tackle for a loss, and unfortunately, Peterlin kept that ball inside and got a small gain of 2 yards. That'll be 2nd and 8 PV.
That's still a good defensive stand by the Rams, though, not letting him escape.
Yeah, absolutely. He had some lanes. PV's been able to run the ball as they pitch this to the outside to Moshe. And they are able to string that one out wide only for a short gain of 2, and that'll bring on about a 3rd and 6 situation for the PV Vikings. Again, the Rams could come up with a big defensive stand here and get this ball back.
And we take a look at this replay. You see the pitch there from Peterlin outside to Moshe. And Moshe's trying to get around the corner, and the Rams just doing a great job of containing him, not letting him get outside, keeping the ball in front of them.
Yeah, the Rams defense really looked like they settled in here and now have playing a lot better than he did on that first drive. For sure, when they let PV march all the way down the field. Again, they dug their heels in, got a 3 and out after the turnover, and here hopefully they'll get another 3 and out out of a great Ryan Ingo punt as Peterlin's flushed out again out of the pocket, and he has nowhere to go. Kind of swing, and that's going to be picked off.
The Rams with great field position after that good defensive stand. The defense, that's a great heads-up play there. You see Peterlin getting flushed out of the pocket, and you see the receivers tracking back, and you just got to look at his eyes, see where he's going to go with the football. He's trying to get rid of it, and that's a good step from the Rams secondary.
Yeah, that one he just has to throw away. As you can see, we have penetration up the middle. He's flushed to the outside. His initial read's not there, and he goes outside and gets a little bit greedy here. At this point, just tuck it away. Tries to force one in there, and we can see, let's see who that is. It's tough for us to see. I think that was number 8, Nick Del Romano on the interception. Big-time play, right man, right spot. Springford has a short field, and that passes up the middle. Benani makes the guy miss, and he takes it in for 6.
That's a great play there from the Rams. Way to extend the play. That is extra second effort there from the Rams.
And that just gets the Ram faithful up and cheering, student section going. Everybody's on their feet here for Springford. Well, Springford dodged their turnover, and then Rams create their own turnover, and they strike fast. First play, touchdown, Rams, as that'll bring on the extra point team and hopefully convert to give the Rams a 4-point lead early on in the second quarter.
And the kick is up and good. The Rams leading the Brown and Orange 7-3 with 8:09 left to play in the second quarter.
Yeah, that pass to Dante Benani, that's Ryan Ingro's 23rd touchdown pass of the year. Dante Benani, who is always a threat to get in the end zone. That is his 8th touchdown reception of the year, and that's just fantastic stuff here as we get a shot at maybe the cheerleaders and them throwing some footballs up into the crowd. They have pink footballs going up into the crowd as I display a good arm there, almost getting one up here in the press box. But that gets our side going. It gets our team going. As you can see the snap here to Ryan Ingro. Play fake over the middle, draws that middle linebacker in, creates a lane for Dante, and he is able to make 2 guys essentially miss and is in for an easy, well, makes it look like an easy touchdown.
Yeah, he sure makes it look easy. And Dave, you mentioned the pink footballs. It is October, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and out there on the football field, lots of players wearing pink shoelaces and pink towels and pink gloves, just supporting the cause, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's a great thing. You love to see it. It's something that's really nice that these teams do.
Absolutely good to bring awareness. We see there is our place kicker just kicked that extra point. We have Taylor Smith, who put that one through and is looking to kick off, get a good kickoff here. Like we said, we're talking about kickoff coverage, and it's a little bit of a short kick, and it needs to stay in bounds, please. Stay in bounds. There it is, loose ball. They need to get Moshe here. Oh, excellent play. There we go, Springford Special Teams. That's number 88, Nathaniel Oak Fritz Robinson makes a big-time play. and PV for the second possession in a row starts deep in their own territory.
And that's something that you want to see if you're a Springford Ram. You want to pin the PV players back inside their own 15. Make it tough on them. You do not want to give them anything because they are a powerful football team. They can throw the ball. They can run the ball. They will make you pay if you give them something.
Yeah, real good sequence of events. After Ryan Ingrowth only threw his third interception, we get a 3 and out. You know, we get our offense moving. We go down, stop them, another 3 and out, and then up as he goes deep to the sideline. And that is harmlessly goes out of bounds. And they threw a penalty flag over there on the play. I'm not sure.
You know, Dave,
some
that looked like
curricular activities over there on the sideline.
I don't know, but if that's on the Rams, then that ball looked like it was uncatchable. It was out of bounds.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a personal foul after the play was over. We'll see what the call is here. It's going to be a pass interference.
The ball was not catchable.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That was on Leo Von Holst there, and unfortunately that ball was uncatchable, but that brings that gives them great field. No, I'm sorry, it doesn't give them great field position, but it certainly gets them out of the hole and gives them a first down.
It's a nice break for that PV offense. You know, you're just talking about good sequence for the Rams. They score a touchdown, they pin PV back deep, and then a silly penalty like that makes it a whole lot easier for the Vikings. And Peterlin gets rid of that one, pitches it.
Sturm, good hard run on the outside, and had him contained a little bit. Good little shiftiness there from Sturm. Picks up about 7 yards on the play, and that'll be about 2nd down and 3.
The Vikings lining up here. They've got 4 receivers, 1 in the backfield.
Rams showing blitz. We'll see if they bring pressure or not. We have Albert in the middle linebacker. He's been in the backfield several times. He's coming on the blitz. They're bringing everybody. And Peterlin reads it and is able to complete that pass on the outside to his target, Austin Rowley, for a PV first down.
PV offense is really feeding off their crowd right now as they're going crazy. And we take a look at this. Peterlin, just good blocking from his offensive line, and he hurdles one downfield. And Austin Rowley brings the Vikings into Rams territory.
Yeah, and that's only his 2nd completion of the game, believe it or not. If you would have said, you know, almost midway through the 2nd quarter, Peterlin would only have 2 completions, you know, we would have been very happy. As the Rams are playing real good pass defense. And that right there, they're playing real good rush defense and are able to get that for no gain on first down.
That's a good defensive stop by the Rams. You know, you've given up 2 big plays. Well, you had a penalty that gave the Vikings 15 yards and then a nice pass from Peterlin to Rowley there. And, you know, they're moving the ball not on their own. Well, they are on their own power, but, you know, you just like to see a good defensive stop from the Rams. And the student section for the Rams chanting defense. Peterlin drops back.
Oh, no. Ooh.
Short throw over the middle. And that was blown coverage from the Rams, but Peterlin threw that one behind Moshe.
Ooh, caught a break. Sometimes it's just better. You got to be lucky. We can see this little bit of miscommunication. We have a blitzer, a corner blitz, and nobody came over to cover Moshe. So Peterlin made the right read on going to the right person. Unfortunately, didn't execute with a good throw, and Springford Rams really dodged the bullet on that one. Yeah, that could have been trouble, especially with Moshe in that open field. He's very shifty, very elusive, very quick. That might have been 6 points for PV.
Yeah. Peterlin drops back, and he gets dropped in the backfield. Rams got at his ankles and brought him down. You mentioned they've got to bring him to the turf. Well, they're bringing him to the turf, Dave.
There you go. There's Orfids Robinson again getting a sack on that play. I'm going to chalk that one up to the defense, the defensive backs here, where you can see Peterlin, he's scanning the field, and you can see tight coverage on everybody. He had nowhere to go except to bring it down and try to scramble. And fortunately, the Rams defense was there and contained them and were able to get a sack, and here it will be 4th down and PV's out to punt.
PV with the punt. And Benani's back on the reception. Calls for the fair catch, but it's a short punt, and that one really takes a PV bounce as it rolls inside the Spring-Ford 20.
Yeah, that one kind of held my breath on that one. You get a short punt, you get some of those guys that are blocking down there. They're unaware of where the football is, and you know, you're yelling for everybody to clear the area. And fortunately for the Rams, it didn't hit any of our players. And the Rams will have okay field position here, first and 10 from their own 18-yard line.
5:18 left to play in the first half. The Rams with the ball. They lead the Brown and Orange 7-3.
Yeah, and so far, been a pretty clean game. We talked last week, they had a lot of penalties. This week they're coming out. You know, unfortunately, they had the one big, you know, pass interference penalty, but they're able to overcome it.
Angro's in the backfield. He takes the snap and gives it off to Brill. Makes a nice play, and he turns something into nothing, and he might have picked up the first down for the Rams.
Boy, we're going to give that all to Stephen Brill on that one. It looked like he was going to get stopped for no gain. He got a little skinny in here. He's coming right at us. You'll see him coming over to the left side over Ryan Colander, the offensive tackle. Gets a good block inside, good kick-out block there, and Stephen Brill is able to squeeze through with a nice gain, and that'll bring on 2nd and about 3 inches. I think this is a good time to take a shot deep right here. Brubaker will dial up maybe a long pass, maybe let Engro air one out with a 2nd and short. This is where you really could air one out.
And Brubaker wants to see, he believes that this one is, he believes that the chain should have been moved on that one, and he asks for a measurement here.
I don't know. I might even opt to just take the 2nd and short and almost essentially a free play, as it looks like it is going to be. Or are they going to bring out the card, Nick?
I hope not. You know, that was a low moment in the Super Bowl. That was
did not bring out the card, and it will remain, I believe it'll remain 2nd down. Like I said,
2nd and inches.
This is kind of a free play. You can I think he's going to throw one up here. You got one-on-one coverage on the outside. I'd like to see him take a shot here.
You've got Benani out wide, near sideline. Brill next to Benani. Noah Baker.
All right, we might have a nod over there in the chain. They need to work it out over there. Not sure what's going on. They'll get it sorted out, but yeah, like you said, you know, I see one-on-one coverage across the board, single high safety here. I'm looking to see if he comes near side and throws one deep.
Yeah. No one in the backfield. Empty backfield for Engro. And we await the whistle.
Yeah, I think he has empty backfield. He wants to create this one-on-one matchup, and I think we're going to see Ryan Engro take a shot. And you see number 17 backing off here on the near side, giving some room, giving some space.
And he's backing up a few extra yards. Engro dropping. Oh, there's a flag on the play.
Holding. Throws it up.
And that will be incomplete for Alex Koretke. And this one will be coming back, holding on the Rams offensive line.
Good play, Paul. They want to get a double move, a little bit of a drag across the middle, see if they can get something deep. You can see Engro kind of faked it inside, set the roll outside, and the play was the whole time to go deep. Like I said, a free play. But unfortunately now we have offensive holding. That'll take them back and put them at 2nd and 10. And again, at this point, you want to get positive yards, put yourself in a 3rd and manageable position.
In high school football especially, you do not want to have yourself sitting at a 3rd and long, especially when you're pinned inside your own 20.
Yeah, you're back deep in your own territory here. So hopefully, you know, Spring-Ford gets some positive yardage. Like I said, maybe even a chunk play. You know, quick hitter, quick slant. Earlier got it kick-started. We see one-on-one coverage again across the board.
And Engro with the keeper, and there's nowhere for him to go.
I believe Engro picks up about 2 yards on the keeper on the outside. That'll bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. You can see here he looks inside, has a little bit of a read option. He reads the end here, which appears to be the right read. That number 39 collapses just a little bit. Engro needs to be a little bit more committed to get to the outside, and unfortunately that's the short side of the field. And PV did a good job of pursuing the play.
They line up on the ball. And Engro lone in the backfield, 5 receivers, and they get a free shot as Angro decides to keep this one, turns it upfield. And there is a flag coming in.
There's a late flag coming in. I believe it might have been an illegal block, maybe a block in the back, a clip. And we'll have to see what the call is. That flag was thrown from way deep and actually went into the Springford sideline. So unfortunately, Engro's run of a first down is going to be negated by a untimely penalty by Springford offense.
That's something they've got to try and cut down on. You don't want to see silly penalties like that are going to turn you from a first down into having to punt.
Exactly, and we talked about cleaning things up. We talked about they only had 1 penalty. Now in this series alone, 2 big penalties against Springford offense, and these hurt. These hurt. You can get yourself out of the hole. Worst case scenario, you gain field position by getting yourself out of the hole, but now you're setting yourself back after you had a first down run by Engro, who did a real nice job of dancing along the sideline, making a guy miss, a little bit of a second effort to get that first down.
The Rams don't have to punt yet. It will be 39 from their own 18.
Yeah, it pushes them back to the original line of scrimmage for sure. Costly penalties. Well, we'll see what they can do with it. Again, we have 3rd and 8. We have one-on-one matchups. See if Ryan Engro can pick something out that he likes and get the Springford Rams a pivotal first down here at the end of the second half. A big play there. Brill makes a miss and is able to get a clutch first down. Fantastic job by the Springford offense. Well executed. Big time first down.
That was a great second effort from Brill there. You see he found some blockers upfield from other wide receivers, and he was able to do a little shake there and get some extra yards. That's what you like to see.
Yeah, unfortunately up here in our booth, our monitor went down, so we were unable to comment on our replay. Hopefully we'll get that up and running soon. But anyway, we have a big first down play here for Springford to keep this drive going.
Angro taking a shot across field for Bonani. And that's
my.
An amazing chunk play right there. Dave, you said it back when they were pinned inside their own 15. They need a chunk play. And there's your chunk play.
Man, beautiful pass. That's right here on the near side, right in front of the Springford faithful, right in front of the Springford bench. Man, that was great coverage. He just dropped it in there. You couldn't do it any better than that.
That was beautiful. I don't even think we need a replay on that one. That one was right in front of us.
Yeah, we can see that great.
It just fell right into Bonani's hands.
Gentle touch right there. Beautiful play, Ryan Engro.
Engro with 4 receivers to the far side. And he looks for a screen. Scarcelli tries to get outside, spin move, and he will get 1 or 2 yards on the play.
Oh, good hard running by Scarcelli. You can see they want to get their screen game going here. They're attacking a little bit more, splitting everybody wide. Unfortunately, we have Brill, who went down out in the PV defensive backfield. Not sure what happened to him. Maybe a cramp, maybe he tweaked something, but he's gingerly walking back to the Springford line of scrimmage, as we can see. But, going back to that Engro throw, man, that was a beauty. And
it was clutch,
well executed.
too.
Yeah, I mean, some clutch plays here. Hopefully they can keep this drive going, keep possession, and make this. It's important they run out the clock here, I think, with this possession, and possibly, run out the clock on this half, because PV will get the second half kickoff. Oh. That is incomplete on the outside. Hopefully Brill is okay. He got drilled on the play. Unfortunately, Engro did not see a streaking Noah Baker. He had a seam going right to the post, and Noah Baker was wide open on the play, but Engro looked like he was going to go for a quick screen the whole play.
And we see Brill, he was rolling around there, and he gets up on his own power, runs to the sideline. Looks like he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Well, yeah, he took a big time hit right there. Hopefully it's just the, like you said, got the wind knocked out of him. Probably a little upset at the moment, and hopefully he'll be able to get himself back in the game, because he is well needed. As we have,
he is big time for the Rams.
Yeah, we have some a replacement in there for him. We have Anthony Yoon out there in the backfield behind Engro.
Angro fakes the handoff to Yoon, finds Benani over the middle. And PV with a great defensive stand. Looks like it'll be 4th and short.
We'll see where the state mark is. I think that he might have enough. They might have given him forward progress. I think where they're going to mark it, that is going to be enough for a first down. And Ryan Ingro put that right on the numbers. What a throw. That's a big-time throw, big-time first down again. On 3rd down, Springford's able to convert.
You know, Dave, Angro came out a little shaky. First drive, they were trying to run the ball. They couldn't move the chains. Second possession, still a little shaky. He overthrew someone, you know. He was trying to find his rhythm, and it looks like he's really found his rhythm, settled into the game, and he's making big-time plays.
And here's Yoon on the outside on that handoff. He's going to get 10 more yards, and that's going to be another Rams first down, I believe, on Yoon's first carry of the game. And I think they marked him a little short. A little over 3 minutes left in the first half.
Angro in the backfield with Yoon. Angro with the keeper, and he's got open field, and Angro will be in for the Springford touchdown. Beautiful read from Angro.
Yeah, great execution, great blocking up front. Angro reads that beautifully, has a one-on-one. That guy has no chance. Angro does a little shake and bake, cuts to his right, and is able to take it to the house for 6 points and give Springford a 10-point lead at the moment. Hopefully they'll increase that to 11 here late in the first half. Big-time play, Ryan Ingro, and big-time throws and 3rd down conversions on that possession for Springford.
Taylor Smith to kick, Max Bunn with the hold, and the kick is up and good. Springford 14, PV 3. 2:48 left to play in the first half, and it has been electric from this Rams offense.
Absolutely. You know, we started that drive back way in deep in their own territory. Had a good first down run. Had a couple penalties that set them back after getting first downs. Couple big 3rd down conversions. That big throw from Ryan Ingro on this near sideline to Benani. Dropped it right in there for a big gainer. And then they were able to convert from there. And that's big-time play from your offense at this point. I mean, that is an impressive drive to end this half, well, get close to ending this half for Springford. And hopefully this momentum, this energy will carry over their defense.
It was a relatively long drive for the Rams, too. You know, with all the penalties, it took up about 3 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, I'd like to see him eat a little bit more, but I understand the philosophy. Brubaker likes to keep it going. He likes to put the pressure on him. He likes to play that fast pace, that up-tempo style, and it does work in their favor. However, you still give Peterlin and the PV Vikings, you know, 2 minutes and 48 seconds. So that's plenty of time for them to score, but he's putting a lot of trust in his defense. The Rams defense is playing lights out right now. They're being aggressive, and they're really holding the PV Vikings in check.
Mocha is back to return the kick for PV, and the Rams lined up here. Taylor Smith kicking this one away, and it is bobbled as it's fielded. Quantany, oh, that's the Rams. Wrong lineup, my bad. Randy Washington with a nice return. Takes that one out to about the 50-yard line for the Vikings, and that's just a defensive lapse right there on special teams for the Rams.
Yeah, and I'm going to stop talking about it because I just put the jinx on them saying they think they got the right people
the
out
announcer
there.
curse.
You know, he fields it on the near side, takes it all the way over to the far side and gets a big gain, you know, almost a 40-yard return, and puts PV in great field position with 2 minutes and 38 seconds left in the half, and that's a big-time play. And hopefully the Rams defense can step up and get another stop.
Peterlin handing off to Moshe. He rounds the corner, and he'll get a first down.
Boy, he just trucked somebody. That's all right. Brought him down. Hey, you stop him. And it's Korecki on the stop. Who Brubaker had a lot of great things to say. How hard he's worked this year. How he's earned, you know, his starting spot. You know, leading the Rams at 3 interceptions this year. So Korecki's just doing a fantastic job for the Springford Rams defense this year.
The Vikings will move the chains. Peterlin puts guy in motion. Handoff. And he is
nice play by Albert.
Stuffed up there.
Yeah, Sturm. Good job by Albert coming up, shedding that block, coming up there, making a good tackle. And doesn't let Sturm, more importantly, get the edge. Keeps him in bounds, and the clock will keep ticking here with counting under 2 minutes left in the first half, and it'll bring up a 2nd and long for PV.
PV3 on the near sideline, and that pass is deflected.
Out there calling it incomplete, possibly. I think that was, not sure who knocked that down, but a great play there nonetheless by the Springford defense.
I believe it was number 90.
Right, I'm not
or
sure.
88, excuse me.
So,
which would be
Peterlin is currently not in the game. Not sure what happened. We have number 8 in the game, Ethan Kohler for PV at this point. So new quarterback in for PV, maybe hoping to jumpstart this offense as he drops back, looking deep. Oh, nice job by the free safety cutting over there. And that was number 6, Korecki. He was in the right spot. He was playing deep zone on that one. He's there. You know, you could see the whole time he had that in the sights. That was not going to get completed on his watch.
Yeah, double coverage. You know, you're throwing in double coverage. First of all, that's risky. You got to find better matchups.
Yeah, I mean, PV, you don't have a choice, I think. You know, now you're 4th and long. You got to take something. You got to make something happen here. You're outside of that first drive. PV has been shut down by this stingy Rams defense, and they're continuing to do that. They gave up a big kick return, and here they are again. They gave up 1 first down. Now it's 4th and long with a chance to get the ball with 1:35, where Springford would even have plenty of time to march down the field. And I think PV calls their last time out to discuss what they're going to do here, because if they don't get this, Springford's going to have an opportunity to put some more points on the board.
You know, you have to be wondering what Brubaker's telling his guys out there right now. Like they just let up a huge return, just a little lapse on special teams there, and PV's moved the chains pretty efficiently here.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job of mixing it up. They established the one early, but Springford kind of figured it out. They kept put some pressure on Peterlin early, and then, you know, they're getting in the backfield and being disruptive a little bit on the runs, and they're not being as effective running the ball. So Springford is certainly stepping up their game run defensively, as we could tell. After that initial drive, they've really done a good job. But now this is big time here. They get a stop here. They can give their offense a chance to get some points on the board.
It is 4th and 9 on the Springford 37.
Yes, fumble. There it is. All right, anyway, it'll be Springford balls regardless.
Yeah.
Good pressure from the backside to create that fumble. It'll be Rams football near midfield with plenty of time left here in the second half. Again, another big-time play by the Rams, creating their 2nd turnover of the game.
That was Nathaniel Ork-Fitz-Robinson for the Rams. Came up big on the last play with the sack, and he came up big this play with the strip sack.
Yeah, big-time play. He's having a real good game. Like calling that gentleman's name right there. So it'll be 1st and 10 Rams from their own 40, we'll call it their 47-yard line with plenty of time left. And I believe they have 2 timeouts remaining. Coach Brubaker had to call one when they had that. They saw they were in an illegal formation, called a timeout before the penalty. So there's plenty of time left for the Engro and company to operate.
Enger's got 3 wide receivers left, and he hands that one off. Or, no, he keeps that one, excuse me. And he's dropped for a loss.
Big-time play. Sometimes, you know, you got to give the other team credit. And number 7 for PV, Brett Kukin on the other side, kept that play. Turned inside. Engro really had nowhere to go on the keeper, and the Rams now will be 2nd and long. So I'm sure they're going to put this one in the air. They got to get some chunk plays, get it fast, as we're down inside a minute to play in the first half.
And the Rams will probably just let this one run out as Engro gives the ball to Brill.
Yeah, it might not be a bad idea. We know PV doesn't have any more timeouts. You know, just let the clock run out.
You're up.
At this moment, your defense is playing great. You don't want to give PV any more reason to celebrate, give them any type of momentum. So Springford's going to be content and just let this game clock run out. So I think Coach Brubaker is going to let this run all the way out and play clock run all the way down. We have the play clock at 10 seconds. There's about 10 seconds difference between the play clock and the game clock. So Coach Brubaker will be calling a timeout and run one more play, and that'll be the end of the half. There you go. There's your timeout with 9 seconds left. So, Nick, kind of just how we drew it up.
Yeah.
Let PV march down the field in their opening drive and stop them, and then dominate from there on.
Yeah, you know, it's a nice little reverse psychology. You know, give them a little bit of hope. Sandbagging. That's the term I'm looking
there
for.
you go. There you go. They absorbed their best shot.
Exactly.
So far in this first half, Springford really kept their composure defensively. That's impressive to let a team march down and then just have that grit, that grind deep down in your own territory to make that goal line stand and hold them only 3 points. That was pretty amazing stuff. So, hey, hats off to the Springford Ram defense really shutting down this PV offense. And it'll be interesting, you know, Peterlin was out that last series for PV. Not sure what was going on there. Maybe the coach wasn't pleased with him. I didn't see that he got hurt anywhere or was limping around, but he was out in that last drive. So Rams will take a knee here, and this will be the end of the first half of, I'm going to say, controlled by the Rams. The Rams will go into halftime here at 14-3, and Nick and I will be back with second half action from McNally Stadium.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul.
Estimated time, 47 hours.
They will beg.
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
They will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking?
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second half action here at McNally Field. The Rams took it to the Vikings in the first half. They're up 14-3.
All right, so as you can see out here, we have Bill Berge. They have the fundraiser. They had that truck raffle, and Bill Berge's in the house giving away this brand new pickup truck of their choice. So very good fundraiser Springford Rams Booster Club had going on this season, and Bill Berge's here to present the keys. So, you know, very cool. So unfortunately, fortunately for us, Springford, you know, they gave up that big drive. PV had first and goal from the 3-yard line, and Springford Rams were able to dig their heels in and have a great stop, and the Springford Rams have been dominant defensively ever since. So incredible play by the Springford Rams defense tonight. They were able to hold Petterline 4 for 11 for only 35 yards in the game. You would have said at the beginning of this game that was going to happen. We'd have been incredibly pleased. We'd have been like, no way, but it happened, Nick. And it was an incredible first half showing by the Springford Rams defense. And on the other side of the football, it's been the Ryan Ingro show. Started off a little cold, but I'll tell you, he came out after the first couple series and really has done it both through the air with his arms and with his feet. Made some quality runs. He finished the first half 8 of 15, 115 yards and a passing TD. Unfortunately, tried to squeeze one in there to Noah Baker, which was a tip drill interception. And then his defense bailed him out again, forced a 3-and-out. And then he's also has 12 rushes for 67 yards and a rushing touchdown. So Ryan Ingro doing it both through the air and on the ground.
And that's something that you like to see from a dual threat quarterback. You know, they're able, if your receivers are double marked and double coverage and there's some holes in the offensive line, you can get out there and he can use his feet to get out wide, try and pick up some yards on the play.
Yeah, and that's what's happening. And the same thing happened last week against O&J. O&J really committed to stopping the Rams wide receivers of Noah Baker and Benani on the outside, Scarcelli, as well as Nick Teets. And they were committed to stopping the pass. And they Springford Rams then decided to turn to the ground game. And again, I think that experience last week is really carrying over today with Ryan Ingro and some of the RPOs, run pass option, is able to keep those. And in some of those runs, the sea was parting for him.
Yeah, he was able to turn some couple-yard runs into some nice long runs.
And some interesting developments there. Right at the end of the half, we saw the PV, the Peterlin was out, and they brought in their backup. So that's a unfortunate circumstance for them. Whether or not he re-aggravated an injury. I know on that one scramble on the outside, he took a hard lick. On another sack, he got twisted around a little bit. So I don't know if he tweaked something or what's going on there. So it'll be interesting to see who's behind center for PV as we start this second half.
Yeah, Dave. Well, Coach Heiss told us that their quarterback, Peter Lynn, just didn't look promising in the first half. That's why they gave Kohler a shot there to show him what he's got.
Yeah, so there's a lot of weight on that. Their backup quarterback, who is just a freshman, as PV takes this opening kickoff, and good coverage this time on Moshe. As there is a lot of laundry out on the field on that one, and we'll have to see what the call is down on the field. And unfortunately for us up here in the press box, we lost our feed for replay. Unfortunately, I think one of the PV coaches down on the other end of the press box knocked our cable right out of the side of the wall. Unintentional, of course, but things happen. So you'll still continue to get your replays at home. We just cannot talk through them because we don't have our feed up here in the booth. So we have a start off the second half. We have a penalty on PV, which is a block in the back, and that will march them back even further after good kickoff coverage by the Rams.
And PV, it looks like, will be pinned inside their own 10.
Hey,
The ball's on the 8-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah, Rams defense, again, they got that smelling salts after they let PV march all the way down the field.
Yeah.
Had that terrific goal line stand, and since then, the Rams have just been dominant, so hopefully there'll be more of the same. And I can't quite see who's back behind center here, but it is the Kohler, the freshman, who gets a quick hitter to the outside, and PV gets a gain of about 13 yards. And he did take a shot on that throw.
Yeah, but that's something that you like to see from a young quarterback, the ability to stay in the pocket when it's collapsing and get a throw off. That's something that would be promising, in my opinion.
Yeah, and to trust the young fellow in this situation, pinned back deep, down 11 points starting the half, and you come out throwing, pretty much right on your old goal line. That's showing some trust in your young quarterback as he pitches this outside to Sturm, and he is quickly gathered up there by the Rams defense.
And this Rams defensive line has come out just as strong as they ended the first half. And that's something that's going to be a key to whether or not the Vikings stay in this game or the Rams keep them out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And PV, they don't have to hit the panic button. Let's face it, they're only down 2 scores. So the Rams still need to play defense. This game is a long way from being over, as again they runs up the middle to Sturm, gets some hard-earned yards, and that will force a third and about 4 yards, a long 4 yards here. So again, Springford Rams defense needs to tighten up and force a 3 and out.
It is 3rd and 3. Ball on the 28-yard line for the Vikings here. And let's see what the young freshman quarterback, Kohler, can whip up here for the Vikings. And he's got 2 receivers on the near side, 2 receivers on the far side, and a running back in the backfield with him. He takes the snap, and it's
over
high.
His head. Get it. There we go.
And it looks like Springford got the ball.
Recovers it. Awesome. Man, that's a big-time play right there. Recovery by, it appears, number 8, Nick Del Romano. And that is another turnover. That's the 3rd PV turnover of the night.
And that is Nick Del Romano's 2nd recovered turnover of the night. He's coming up with a great game.
Yeah, that was a costly mistake there. That snap was definitely high. There's nothing that Kohler could do on that one, and great hustle play by Springford, beating Kohler to that ball. Delarano sets the Springford up with a 1st and goal from the 4-yard line.
I'd be interested to see what type of play call we see, if you think Springford's going to come out running or throwing. And it looks like they've got an empty backfield here. 3 receivers on the near side. Maybe you'll see a quick slant to Benani. And Angro looking for a keeper, and he'll look to get outside.
Oh.
And he's pushed out of bounds short at about the 2-yard line.
Good pursuit there by the PV defense. It looks a little slow developing. Fake that jet sweep inside. Angro at first looked like he had the corner, but the PV defender had the angle, forced them out of bounds about the 1.5-yard line. So we'll call it, it looks more like the 2-yard line. So 2nd and goal from the 2 for the Springford Rams.
Yoon checks in for Stephen Brill.
Yeah, it's good to see Brill out there, come back from that big-time hit that he absorbed, and he's out there again. Now Yoon will get a shot here on 2nd down.
And Yoon will take the handoff, and he stays on his feet. And he's being pushed into the end zone. Springford touchdown.
Wow, incredible second effort by Yoon. Unbelievable. I think he got a little help from his friends there.
He did.
He collided with one of his defensive linemen. I think that was actually Colander. Looked like Colander gave him a little bear hug and a little push inside.
And that's a good play heads-up play from the offensive line there. Noticing the play is not over yet and getting back behind the running back to help push him into the end zone.
Absolutely, and hopefully our CTV crew, I'm sure, got a good replay of that one for you at home. Again, our monitor's out up here, so we don't have the fortunate opportunity to see that replay. But from up here, great effort all around, great second effort. Here's a high snap, just fall on it. We got to hustle back. Dead ball. All right, so another high snap there, unfortunately, on that extra point, so that will negate that extra point try. So the Rams early on in the 3rd quarter are up 20-3.
It's an interesting sort of sequence there. You see 2 high snaps real close to each other. It's it's a little coincidental there.
Yeah, I think that would have been the type of play you had seen early on in this game, but both teams settled in.
Yep.
I thought very well. I thought both coaches made real good decisions. That they didn't put the ball in the air. Uncharacteristic of both teams. They both like to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And both coaches came out and ran the ball. I think they wanted to settle the nerves on both sides of the ball. Keep this game just, without any big mistakes, without any big turnovers. Don't do anything costly. And both teams settled in nicely. And as again, and I can't say it enough, the Rams defense really settled in nicely and really come to play. So again, Springford capitalizes on yet another PV turnover with a short field. They're able to punch it in from the 4-yard line. That's what you want, short fields offensively.
Yeah, it makes it a heck of a lot easier to put the ball in the end zone when the field's short. Taylor Smith lines up to kick this one away for the Rams.
All right, PV already has one big kickoff.
Yeah.
He had a couple good plays as well, pinning them deep. So hopefully we'll get good coverage on this one as well.
Moshe's back to field the punt, but it won't go to Moshe. Oh, it is Moshe. Excuse me, and
good
he's
coverage
swallowed
on the
up.
play. Doesn't even make it back to the 20-yard line. Good call there, Nick. You're absolutely correct. He was swallowed up by 2 defenders. One guy on the stop there was Nick Teets. He was down there with one of his partners. I'm not sure who. Couldn't see the numbers from here, but good job on the kickoff coverage. So, Nick, here we are, 20-3. The Rams are up. What do the Rams need to continue doing defensively?
Dave, I think that the Rams are doing a great job defensively right now. They're keeping their head. They're not trying to lay out people on the brown and orange offense, and they're applying pressure to the quarterback position. And here's another pick. That's great. He tries to stay in bounds, but he steps out. But as I was saying, they got to just contain the PV offense. They can't allow chunk plays. And perfect example here, Andrew Yoon with a beautiful read. He just steps up about 5 yards to pick this one off, and the Rams get another opportunity at a short field.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrew Yoon scores a touchdown. Next play.
Yeah.
Gets himself an interception. Have yourself a night, young man. Make the most of your opportunities, and the Springford Rams, again, are set up in PV territory at the 22-yard line, marching in, and a chance to really take control of this game. This is where you need to keep the pressure on, kind of take control.
Yeah.
No let-ups at any point in time here.
I'd be interested to see if the next PV possession we see, if we see Peter Lynn back in the pocket for the Vikings, excuse me.
Yeah, I think at this point, ball, a little bubble screen inside.
Yeah,
ball
thrown
falls
into.
incomplete.
Yep.
I think at this point there must be something physically wrong. I don't think in any situation do you pull your senior quarterback and put in a freshman because he's playing poorly.
Yeah.
There's something physically wrong. Unfortunately, you don't want to see anybody hurt, but there has to be something wrong with him physically. As the Rams have a 2nd and 20, fakes the run up the middle.
And Anger will get dropped in the backfield for a loss of about 5.
Yeah, he didn't have much time there. They got good penetration up the middle. It seemed to me like he was looking deep. They were going to take a shot for Noah Baker. He was the only one going deep, and he was double covered on that play. So unfortunately, they were unable to score or to convert on that one, and that'll bring up a 3rd and long. And here's the situation. You have good field position. You just want to get maybe half of this.
Try and set yourself up for a field goal.
Yeah, or just an opportunity to go for it on 4th down.
That's true. The Rams line up here. 4 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. A little bit of confusion here for the PV defense. Anger takes the snap, and he looks for the ISO. Oh. Pass incomplete to Dante Benani.
Oh, he had him, and I think if we would ask Dante tomorrow, he would probably agree with that. He should have caught that. That ball was well thrown. We couldn't tell from here if the PV defender might have got a fingertip on that, but well-thrown ball, had the opportunity in here. I'm going to say they might go for it. I'm not sure if they're going to do the old quick kick here.
I don't think they would do the kick.
Maybe pin them deep, but at this point, you really don't want to give any momentum to PV.
Yeah. Looks like they have another isolation play over here, and they're going to go same play. And this, it looks like
that was broken up right at the very end.
Looks like Isaiah Doming got a hand on that one.
Yeah, and he's a really good athlete there on the outside, and it looked like Noah Baker might have had a step. And again, we couldn't tell there. If we look at the replay here on RCTV, again, we lost our feet up here in the box. Looked like a pretty well-thrown ball, and just unfortunately there for the Springford Rams, maybe a little bit better play by the PV defender. Maybe able to tip that away at the last moment. But right read by Ingro. He had one-on-one on the outside, no help over the top. He made the correct read 2 plays in a row, and they were just unable to execute.
Kohler is in for the Vikings, and he will hand the ball off
to Moshe, who gained a baby 2 yards. Springford Rams defense, again, they're really keying on that run. But at the same time, you don't want to give up any big plays. You want to keep everything in front of you. You can see that the freshman quarterback, he looks a little rattled. He's coming into a big moment here. He's only a freshman. He obviously has some skills or he wouldn't be out there. But keep everything in front. Don't give up any big plays.
And this pass
That's
a little bit behind.
I don't know if that was thrown behind the line of scrimmage or not. Let's see what they rule here. They're going to rule that. I think they're bringing it back up to the original line of scrimmage. So that was an incomplete pass, so it was forward. And that will bring us, as we see here, some of the Rams fans arguing for a backward pass. Again, you will see the replay here on RCTV. We don't have the luxury of seeing it. We'll have to go with the call on the field, and it will be 3rd and 8.
Some of the Springford fans obviously not happy with that call, as we've heard some, that's a turnover, ref.
Yeah,
but
it went out of bounds, but yeah, they would have lost probably 5 or 6 yards on the play.
But that's the ref's job. They're there for a reason. They're the ones calling the game. We're watching the game. There's a reason for that. And PV here with a big play. Austin Rowley, number 23 there. He kind of rallies this offense a little bit on that play. He gets a huge chunk play, and as you just said, Dave, we're trying to limit that for the Rams here, and that's just a defensive lapse.
Yeah, well, just that kind of that inside screen. The offensive lineman lets the defenders run. They're licking their chops. They're looking to get a sack, and it kind of played into PV's hands. That rush came up the middle, and they had that little screen inside. You got to hand it to a good, right play call at the right time for PV.
And Kohler airs one out here. And a great defensive play from the Rams. Looks like that would be Nick Yuba. I can't tell who that. Oh, Leo Van Holst, excuse me, with a great second effort to get a hand on that. That could have been easily been a Perk Valley touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. A little underthrown. Kohler took a pretty good shot there at the end. You know, wasn't able to step into as much. Hung it up there just a hair. And Van Holtz, he did a nice job of closing. Was able to knock that away at the last minute. As we were just talking, keep everything in front of you. Don't give up that big play. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for PV.
One in the backfield for the Vikings. And Kohler looks to throw. Pass bobbled.
And number 15, Mike Dougherty for PV. Had a lane, had an opening. I think he took a peek to see where that defender was, and
he's
hit
not
him
trying
right in
to
his
get
hands.
lit up. Yeah,
he was peeking, see if he was, if he was looking down the barrel, and he drops it, and that'll be 3rd and long for PV.
You know, Dave, that's the one I played 1 year of tackle football in 4th grade, and I played quarterback and cornerback, and I feel if I was in Doherty's position, I would definitely be checking where the defenders are. I would not want to get lit up.
Yeah, it's tough to keep your eyes on the ball. You see the pros even do it. As we get a sack from the outside, another big-time play there. Number 90 gets himself a sack, and that's DJ Francis on the sack. Good hustle play, flushing him out, being able to track him down for a big loss. That'll bring up 4th and about 17 for PV. Nice job of the rush off the edge there and forcing them outside, and PV will bring on the punt team as PV would, if they go for it and fail, would really give up the Rams, give them
some good field position.
Good field position, and really let this game get out of hand.
Benani's back for the Rams. He takes the punt, and he will punt. Benani with the fair catch at the 20-yard line.
That's a good job. Benani saw that, because if that ball hits, that's going to roll another 10 yards and pin him back. That was a real good job, rushing up and grabbing that, getting that fair catch. So, Nick, we know Brubaker's MO. He likes to go fast, but at what do you think he's going to want to slow this down, eat some time off the clock, or do you think he's going to keep the gas pedal pushed all the way down?
I think he's going to push the gas pedal all the way down for a couple more drives, see if they can get a couple more scores in here, and then just run the clock out, run the ball.
Yeah, no doubt. I think he's really going to push the issue. He's going to try to crank it up here. He wants more points. He wants this game out of reach. He doesn't want to give any reason to that brown and orange over there that think they can even have a dream of winning this game, as Brill takes it to the outside.
And he gets a good chunk of yards on that first down. And that's a great read there from Engro. He has 3 wide receivers lined up here. He has 1 in the backfield, hands it off to Brill, and they just get it out on the far side, and he gets up the line and gets a nice piece of yards there.
Yeah, it was good execution there by the Rams. Good blocking up front. And like you said, real good read by Engro. Good job there at that mesh point by Brill and Engro working together. That's not always easy to do. It looks easy, but it takes a lot of practice and a lot of work to execute that play without letting that ball touch the turf. Great run there by Brill. That was his best run of the night.
Engro with the RPO. He takes it for himself, and he'll get out of bounds with a gain of about 4.
Yeah, a little fake pitch to Brill that was coming to the near side, kind of stutter stepped. And you can see that was a design run. They had the guard pulling out there to the left out in front of them, just to try to get some yards, a little misdirection play. And a good pickup on first down, a gain of 3, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
5:53 left to play in the 3rd quarter. The Rams lead the Vikings 20-3. Same formation as the last couple plays, and this one will go to Brill on the outside. He breaks a couple tackles, gets a first down around the corner, and is pushed out of bounds.
Wow, great patience by Brill on that one. You can see he was waiting for his blockers to get set up, had 2 or 3 yards, kind of stuttered step, waiting until the blocks get out there and develop, and is able to get around the corner for a nice gain on 2nd down. Now to keep the chains moving for Spring Ford. Yeah, good offensive series here so far for the Rams.
And this has been working so far, so they'll stick to this 3 on the near side, 1 in the backfield. And Engro gives it to Brill again, makes a guy miss, and he'll get about 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, just grind it out. Like I said, I was ready to see him throw, but if they got the ground game working, Ryan Ingro's been successful running the ball. We see Brill out here running. Good to see him. His toughness, taking that one shot earlier in that game on that little bubble screen, and he's back there running the ball hard for the Springford Rams. Good to see him out there and showing some grit tonight, some toughness.
James Albert checking in for the Rams. And Engro for the screen, and he just throws that one a little low for Scarcelli.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate,
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see many bad throws from Ingro. I mean, that was one of them, unfortunately. We've seen one to Nick Teets earlier in the game where he just bounced it, but that one, just kind of maybe rushed that one a little bit too fast, tried to get it out there. And when you're taking that shotgun from center, you don't necessarily grip the ball right. You don't try to find the laces. You just try to get it out quick, and maybe that had something to do with him spiking that into the ground.
3rd and long for the Rams, and Engro gets flushed, and he will be dropped.
Oh no, he escapes.
This is like Wentz here. We've got a magician.
Oh, he's almost threw it to one. Who was that? Oh, that was his Albert. Wow, what an escape by Ingro. More importantly, though, he didn't get up and throw it into trouble. He kind of threw it at the feet of Albert there. Wasn't quite sure if there was a PV guy coming up or not, but it's good to live another day. You certainly don't want to have a turnover at that point. Good athleticism by Engro, and 4th down coming up here.
Looks like we'll see another punt to the corner here, unless they're going to go for it.
No, he's going to punt it.
Yeah.
Oof. That was a little bit low. Not what Engro wanted, but okay punt. Not his best effort of the night, and it will be 1st and 10 from about the 25-yard line. Well, Nick, I was expecting a little bit more of an offensive output for PV, tonight. A little bit more of a shootout, but it's been a defensive effort tonight. We talked to somebody tonight. We have roughly, upward of maybe 6,000 people in attendance tonight. Both home and away stands are crowded. We got people all around the track and the fences. So, great showing tonight, especially by the Springford Ram faithful.
Moshe gets the ball. He rounds the corner, and he is meted by some Springford defenders who push him out of bounds.
Moshe on that jet sweep, man, he has some speed, and that just shows you the speed on the Springford defense, able to run him down and limit that to only about a gain of about 3.5, maybe 4 yards.
And that's been a key part of this Ram defense tonight. Their athletic ability and speed to the corners have been they've been able to stuff PV on those jet sweeps and on those short screens.
Yeah, it's been impressive, especially like we said, after that opening drive, they looked like they made some adjustments and they're able to get off their blocks and be able to stop that outside run game of PV.
And Kohler will be...
Yeah, we'll give that a sack. I think he's behind the line of scrimmage.
I think so.
And Kohler on the sack. Good hustle play by Kohler. Good job of them forcing him up in the pocket. He had nowhere to run, meeting at the quarterback time. This is when the defense really wants to get out there and play.
Yeah.
PV almost at this point, with 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, is going to turn into a one-dimensional team.
3rd and 6, ball on the PV 29. It's time for a Springford stop here. Kohler takes the snap. In the pocket. Fires over the middle, has a man. And that's
Austin Rowley.
Austin Rowley.
Yeah, he's a good target for them. That was a nice throw by the young man. Kohler stood in there and hit him on that crossing route. And that's a big play for PV and keeps the chains moving for them.
You saw in that play, Rowley just looked like he got a little bit of separation, and no one picked him up when he was crossing the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has some speed, and you could see it there as he's running across the field, and he's trouble. I mean, he's a handful for the defense, that's for sure. You got to count for him at all times. There's Sturm up the middle, breaks it to the outside, picks up the 1st down. Well, PV looks like they're getting something going here, Nick.
There's still plenty of time on the clock. 3:26 left to play in the 3rd, plus the whole 4th quarter. Rams are up 20-3.
Yeah, this is like you said. You want to dig in. You don't want to give them any momentum. And here comes a little bit of a trick play as we see. Looks like we have student body right here. Springford Rams are going to call a timeout. weren't ready for this, and that's a good timeout. Something different's coming. Not quite sure if Springford's prepared for this during the week, and good timeout by Coach Brubaker on that play. Do they come out in that same formation, Nick, to start this?
I think they might, because they have the element of surprise here. Springford's never seen this before.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's why Coach Brubaker called a timeout, because he's unfamiliar with it. He wants his defense to sort of understand his thought process behind how to set up defensively against this weird formation.
Yeah, and not only that, now you break up the momentum.
Exactly.
The young kid, Kohler back there was threw a couple good balls. They had a couple good runs. Springford was reeling just a little bit, and then they come out here, it looked like a little trickeration, and Coach Brubaker wasn't going to let anything happen, so he decided to call a good timeout. Well, that'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line with 3:26 left in the third quarter.
Well, Dave, they don't come out in the same formation. Maybe they were just trying to get Springford to burn a timeout.
Well, they might come back to it later in the game. Something to certainly look for.
Know.
That's a lateral. Oh, nice job stepping up, going again, coming up big at the right time. The young man rushing touchdown, interception, and a big-time tackle in the open field.
Andrew Yoon has been outstanding tonight for the Rams.
Yeah, he has, and stopped him there for no gain. He gets juked there a little bit. There's some space, for the runner, for the PV offense, maybe to break one a little bit and get some more positive yardage. But Yoon was there to stop him in his tracks.
Kohler's got 3 on the far side, 2 on the near side. He drops back, floats one over the middle, and this one almost intercepted by Yoon. He's everywhere tonight.
Yeah, that was to his number one target for PV Domning. He has 10 touchdowns on the year. He's their top receiver and the conference's leading receiver on the year, and he had him, just underthrew him. That'll bring up 3rd and long. The Rams defense now again holding, need a big stop. Be a good time to get some pressure, maybe get a sack from the big guys in the middle. Uh-oh, little reverse.
Flea flicker action.
Flicker reverse.
And Yoon goes up for it, and he might have had another pick.
It's going to be simultaneous possession. It's going to be reception PV, unfortunately. Yoon was just kind of, unfortunately, didn't have the size advantage. The guy went up over his back, and kind of same simultaneous possession. That's always rewarded to the offensive player, and PV is going to be set up with 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line at the 8. Man, he had him posted up. He had position on him. Just an unfortunate circumstance there for Yoon.
And it looks like we have a false start on the PV offense. They
wow,
will be looking at
just when we said, I told you I wasn't going to talk anymore and have the jinx out. We're saying how Yoon's playing such a good game, but you can't fault him on that at all.
That was a spectacular go up for him.
Great effort, on his part. Better effort, just as good as effort on the offensive player's part. There's just sometimes there's nothing you can do. He was in the right position, right place. Things just didn't go his way.
Kohler in the backfield. He hands this one off. Oh, he keeps this one, and he throws into the ground, and he takes a hard hit.
Del Romano with the pressure coming from the strong side to be able to put the lick on him. Hurry that play just a little bit. Great job, Del Romano. Good job, Springford defense.
It's a good defensive stand. Springford coming up clutch in the red zone.
Yeah, we need 3 more of those right now. It being a 2nd goal. This is 4-down territory, and they're going to have no choice but to go for it, being down 17 points here late in the 3rd quarter.
Kohler's got 3 on the far side, 2 on the near side. He looks for a keeper, and he is stuffed.
Again, great play on the inside. Nathan Orfritz Robinson making the tackle. They're going to give him a sack because that was a drop for a loss.
That's a good defensive play. Way to get in there and stir it up.
Yeah, back-to-back Coach Mitch, and defense coordinator. He's bringing the pressure. I love it. I think at this point you have to put the pressure on the freshman Kohler. He's in a big-time spot here, and you want to push him back. It's 3rd and goal from the 16-yard line.
Kohler keeps it for himself, and he will not get inside the 10.
Yeah, stopped about the 11. Good job up front on the keeper. They're able to contain him, you know, and they're actually, looks like they're actually going to send out the field goal unit. So great job by Spring Ford, you know, bending a little bit but not breaking. Had a 1st and goal inside to about the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
And again, a 1st and goal to go. Spring Ford Rams defense steps up, comes up big time. Yeah, I'd be on the lookout for a fake. I'd give him 3 here. You just don't want to fake and give him a touchdown.
I mean, they have some weird sort of, well, that one is up and good.
All right, well, that cuts it to a 2-score lead. So you know, maybe not bad thinking, hey, Springford defense has been tough. What are the odds of us converting on, getting 10 yards for the touchdown? Now it's a 2-possession game. Get a couple of stops. One score here, and now next thing you know, it's a 1 possession. So maybe not a bad call, but now this game's in the Springford offensive hands. They need to get a good drive going here.
I agree with you, Dave. Definitely not a risky call, but if I'm PV, I don't have anything to lose. I'm down 17 points. Well, not anymore. I'm down 14 points with 41 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. And, you got to get some points on the board. Got to fight back.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to gain a little momentum. Give the young freshman some confidence. And, when he comes over to the sideline, say, hey, you just drove us down the field. You just got us 3 points. But if you're on the Springford side, Coach Brubaker, I think they didn't really air it out that last possession. They had some runs, and then they got a negative play and unable to, the drive stalled. But they need to kickstart again. I think the Springford Rams here, if they need to score. And I think if they score, the game is for sure will be theirs.
Back for the Rams is Yoon.
Oh, boy.
And this one is not in his favor. And he will be pinned inside the 10. And that is not something you want to see from the Rams. Like, I don't understand what the thought process behind that one was. I mean, once the ball's on the ground, you either got to pick it up or let it roll. And if that ball's rolling towards you, you've got to pick it up and just try and get all the positive yards you can.
That's one of those ones where you don't want to be overly aggressive and overrun the ball. It looked like he was a little taken back by it. He was on his heels a little bit to receive that one. Anytime that ball's on the ground, you got to be aggressive and go get it. And unfortunately for the Rams, Yoon coming over here limping after that one. They will start at their own 10-yard line, and Ingro and company will take the field here for probably what will be the last play of the 3rd quarter.
Ingro sees some space. He makes a couple cuts, and he'll get some positive yards for the Rams.
Yeah, Ingro with the keeper there. And I think they're lining up here. They might get one more play off. No, I think they're going to let it run down.
I think they will too.
Yeah, shot clock is shut off. So this will be the end of the 3rd quarter. Rams came out, got a couple turnovers, scored on some PV turnovers to make it to 20-3. PV ended the quarter there with that field goal, and Springford Rams will take a 20-6 lead going into the 4th quarter. So when we come back here on RCTV, Nick Elsner and I will have the conclusion of Ram football right after this.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average 4-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
recycling scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me
And me.
help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android.
This is awesome.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Welcome back. We've got some fourth quarter action here. Springford Rams leading the Perkiomen Valley Vikings 20-6 at McNelly. First play of the fourth quarter was a run up the middle from Brill.
Unfortunately, didn't gain anything, and that'll bring up a pivotal third down. You know, you can feel the momentum slightly switching here as Springford faces a third and long deep in their own territory. They need to convert this, keep their drive going, take some more time off the clock, and eventually, hopefully put some points on the board. So big play here on third down for Angro and company. Max Bunn came into the game. Brill came out. Oh, I'm sorry. Brill is still in there, but Max Dunn came out. He's on the far side.
Angro drops back. And he's looking for Dante Benani, and he finds him. That's a clutch first down right there. It was third and manageable, but now you move the chains and you get a fresh new set of downs.
Yeah, good timing on that route. You can see Dante Benani running upfield, pushing his receiver off, and as soon as he made that break, that comeback, Ryan Ingo throws it in a spot where only Dante Benani can catch that, and that's low and outside. Great execution on that play by both Benani and Engro. And again, we can't discount the blocking up front. Fantastic job, that Rams offensive line. Now bring up a 1st and 10.
Engro trying to get a stiff arm, and he will be dropped in the backfield.
Boy, that didn't look good. Getting spun around and having your arm out. Good thing he held on to that ball, and that unfortunately be a loss of about 4 or 5 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and long. And those are the plays you don't want. You don't want to get behind the chains early in the downs. Now you have 2nd and long, and you know PV is going to try to bring pressure.
Springford, 4 receivers on the near side. Engro with an empty backfield. He takes the snap, he drops back. Looking, and he has Scarcelli, but he's a little low.
Yeah, I think he had to throw that low to the outside. He had coverage, more to the leverage was to the inside, and he had to throw that out on his back hip, and unfortunately it was a little bit too wide, too low. But I understand where Engro was going with that throw, because if he throws that, he leads him on that throw, he leads him into trouble. Either gets lit up or we get another tipped interception. So I'll bring up 3rd and long.
Angro with 4 on the near side, 1 on the far side, empty backfield. He takes a snap, and he's looking for a keeper. And I think they're just trying to get some yards.
Yeah, for sure. He's counting numbers there. You had two over the top on the other side, 1-on-1 here on the outside. And, if he breaks that first line of defense, he could possibly pop one. And probably a good, safe, conservative play. And, you certainly don't want to throw a ball into traffic at that point. That was the play call, something safe. And now they'll just punt on 4th down.
Taylor Smith back to punt for the Rams. And Isaiah Doming back for the return on the Vikings.
That ball checked up, unfortunately, and PV will have excellent field position at the Springford Rams 48-yard line here in the early going in the fourth quarter. Boy, Springford Rams defense really needs to step up here. It's good, PV puts another score on the board. There'll be some anxious moments here at McNally Stadium.
Dave, I was getting some stats today, 7th period in Merge's room, and I was on Max Preps, and they have this cool chart that shows you each quarter of the game and how many points they score and whether or not they're what quarter team they are. And Springford is a 2nd to 3rd quarter team, and they really drop off in the 4th quarter. And Perk Valley is not a 3rd quarter team, but they're a 4th quarter team.
Oh, man. Well, I think the crowd wanted to push. I'll
Yeah.
get back to you in a moment there, Nick. But, boy, some anxious moments. Bonani there on the coverage. Underthrown ball. looks like the receiver for the Doming pushed off and had it in his hands and just flat out dropped it. So a break there for Springford. So get back to what you were saying. Sorry about that, Nick.
Yeah, it was just basically the chart on Max Preps was showing that PV is a fourth quarter team. So Springford defense can't be too tired and lackadaisical in the defensive secondary here. They got to stick with the runners, and they've got to mark up. And Kohler looking to keep this one, and he gets around the corner, and he'll get out of bounds.
Yeah, after a big gain, that's about a 16-yard gain there on second down. Well, I think some of those stats lead into play. Now, don't forget, I think Springford had a lot of lopsided victories where PV was in a lot closer games. So they had their starters in for the entire game where Springford Rams might not have. So
that is true.
You know, stats could be a little skewed, could not be. But right now, you know, PV's marching. They got a little bit going here in that fresh set of downs. And let's see what Springford defense can get a little bit of a negative play.
See if they can get some pressure. Kohler fakes the jet sweep, throws over the middle to Doming, who makes a great catch.
That'll bring up a 1st and goal again. This will be the 3rd time PV Vikings have been in a 1st and goal situation, and the Springford Rams really tightened up. And I think they need to here, and I'm going to tell you right now, I think this is definite 4-down territory. They're not going to settle for a field goal. This is 4 downs here, so Springford has 4 plays that they need to stop PV.
PV lines up 2 receivers on the near side, 1 receiver on the far side, 1 in the backfield, and he's looking for that ISO. And that will be pass interference. You see.
You could see it. Yep, without a doubt. Unfortunately, they got. I think that was Yubo on the outside. You know, they kind of like looked like it was almost going to be a fade route, and that's what Ubo was playing. And then all of a sudden, that throws the inside, and he was just kind of hung there and didn't get his head turned around.
Yeah, and that's something that he panicked. He grabbed onto Doming there, and you can't do that. That's an easy call for the officials.
Yeah, it looks like he had the position. If he'd have turned around, maybe located that ball. You know, could have stopped that. So now it'll be a 1st and goal from about the 4.5-yard line for the brown and orange. Oh, good job there by Springford stopping that keeper up the middle, and they stop him for what, maybe a 1-yard loss, Nick?
That's good. You know, negative yards. Take any you can get.
Yeah, absolutely. I know one thing here. You know, Doming is a big target in this red zone. He has 10 touchdown receptions for PV on the year. I would put 2 people on him. You got to figure out where he is and put your best defender on him. And I think he's split wide. He's up top.
Yeah, Doming is a senior who's listed at 6'1", 204 pounds. Oh. And that pass from Kohler going nowhere.
Yeah, off the target there. It didn't look like they were going to get much on that play anyway. It was sniffed out there by number 52 for that's Blake Teresi. Sniffed that play out, and he was out there wide, got out there in a hurry, and was probably there to make the stop on that. Springford looked like they had the numbers, and this will bring up 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line for the PV Vikings. Well, Springford, they've done it 2 other times. They need to do it again. Get this crowd into it, get them pumped up. Oh, PV calls a timeout. You know, this shows you the importance of this play. You're going to spend a timeout in the 3rd quarter with 8 minutes left in the game, down 2 scores in the 4th quarter here. This is important. PV coaches know it. They probably had the play call, didn't like the Springford alignment, and they called a timeout. They need to convert here.
And that's just unlucky from PV. You know, you have to waste a timeout because Springford came out with a setup you didn't like.
Yeah, when you're down 2 scores, 2 timeouts, and, you know, a full boat of timeouts isn't going to matter anyway. So it's important for them. But, you know, at the same time, you know, the Rams, I think at this point, they've been attacking on the outside. PV, their passing game's getting going on the perimeter. So at this point, you know, they're going to draw attention to it, maybe dial up a blitz, and, you know, see what PV throws them.
It is 3rd down and 6. PV has the ball on the Springford 6. The Rams need to come up with a defensive stop here.
They have Sturm, their big back, is in the backfield.
And Kohler drops. And he's in for a touchdown.
Oh, unfortunate. They lost contain. They had the pressure. He had nowhere to go with the ball. You could see it. He had nowhere to go. And, Springford Rams were bearing down on him, and unfortunately they let him out of the pocket, and he was able to scramble for a touchdown. And they're on for the extra point, looking to cut this game to 7.
That's just unfortunate there, Dave. We've talked many times in this game about how Springford's defense needs to contain the Perkiomen Valley offense. And if they just keep the ball in front of them, everything will be okay. But they were not able to keep the ball in front of them on that one.
And they miss it. So that's a big miss right there, and it keeps the lead at 8. So now PV needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion in order to tie this game. But, the good news is for Springford, they're in control. Their offense is going to come back on the field. They need to get a drive, need to get some points on the board. Yeah, it seems like PV's big plays is when, they're able to get pressure and they're on broken plays. When the quarterback's scrambling and picks up those extra yards, some of those bigger gains that they've had. Springford just needs to be disciplined. They'll come over on the sideline. They'll talk a little bit, discuss what's happening on the outside with their coverage, why their offense is on the field.
Nick Yuba back to return this one for the Rams.
Yeah, at this point, you need to be a little bit possibly concerned about an onside kick. It's certainly something I'm sure the special teams coach talked to him about. Hey, be on the lookout. We want to be ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like PV has a pretty regular lineup here, but you never know. Coach Heiss could have something up his sleeve.
Yeah, you definitely want to be ready for it. And that's the first thing. You be ready for that. As they kick it deep.
Yuba gets this one firmly in his hands, and he will just shoot the gap on that one.
Yeah, I like the conviction. I like how he just saw the seam, don't hesitate, don't dance, just go north and south, not east and west. And good return, sets him up at about the 29-yard line. So good, decent field position for Rams to start this possession.
Like you said, Dave, you don't really want to go east and west, because if you go east and west and you're trying to round the corner, you're going to go back and you're going to lose yards. And if you get stopped and lose yards, that's on you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you put yourself out there for some of your teammates to possibly block in the back or a little holding, because they're changing directions as well. There it is.
Angro finding Bonani over the middle for about 7 yards.
Yeah, quick slant route to Bonani, get this offense going, they need a jump start. They need to do something. Good quick slant. Ryan Ingro hits him right between the 1 and the 0.
That was a great throw by Ingro. He hands this one off to Brill.
Oh, no. Fumbled. Oh, man. PV. Opportunistic defense. Malik Smith with the recovery. PV recovers the fumble on the second turnover of the game by Springford, and they're in a great position now. They'll be set up 1st and 10 at the Springford 35-yard line.
In pregame, we talked about a major key factor in this game was going to be ball control.
Yeah.
PV's turned the ball over 3 times, and I believe that's why Springford's up right now in this game. If PV wouldn't have turned the ball over and given them great field position, Springford would not have been able to capitalize as easily. And now PV getting some pretty good field position here and a chance to strike back.
Yeah, absolutely. Springford Rams showing blitz.
And Kohler with the pitch.
Oh, man, he might have a horse collar. Are they going to throw the flag? We have people up here in the box. PV coach was yelling for it, but I didn't see any laundry come out. But that was a big gain. Springford Rams are blitzing up the middle, and they pitch it to the outside, and a good run on 1st down by PV. It looks like Sturm might be down on the sideline as PV's taking a knee. So with someone down on the sideline here with 7:02 left in the football game, we are going to turn it over to a commercial break, and we will be back right after this.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Wow, great break up there on the play. Man, they had a one-on-one coverage, throwing deep. They're going after it, going to rally on it. Great job on defense here. And I can't quite see that number who had him on the defensive side for Springford, but that was a great play, great pass breakup.
It was a great positional play from Ryan Yang. Looked like there was a little bit of holding, a little bit of contact from both players, but they kept it clean, and Yang made a last leaping effort to hit that ball out of the air.
Yeah, I think they were both playing the ball.
Yeah.
I don't think that, they were just good, aggressive fight
there
for the ball. Correct, nothing there. Good no call. So I'll bring up a 3rd and 2 for the PV Vikings. Blitz up the middle, and I think the coach saw that they were going to blitz. Didn't like the play call against blitz, and this is called a timeout.
PV has 1 timeout remaining. It'll be interesting to see how this one shapes out. 6:47 left to play. Springford up 20-12. If you're the Rams defense here, what do you think Coach Brubaker's got in store for him?
Well, at this point, I think they're going to bring pressure. I think Kohler, the freshman, is getting a little too comfortable back there. He's making some plays. He's had some keepers, had some good runs, made some good throws. He made some bad throws. I think in this moment, in this situation, you want to attack. You want to be aggressive. Now, at the same time, you don't want to over-pursue, because we've seen what happens when it gets outside the pocket. We see what happens when Sturm gets outside the pocket. We've seen what happens with motion, that jet sweep. So you got to play containment football as well as get up the field. But I think you have to put the pressure on him. I think he'll make an ill-advised throw and hopefully put one up there that Springford can get their hands on.
And you can really hear the Springford student section here. They're rallying. 3rd and short, ball on the 27, and Kohler looking deep.
And he's got him. Oh, man. Uba was there, and just unfortunate that height disadvantage for Uba turns into 6 points for PV.
And that's just a great throw from Kohler. Like you said,
he's throwing it up.
Looks like he's gotten really comfortable in that pocket. The Rams have got to get pressure on him and knock him down a level.
Yeah, for sure. They're giving up a big size advantage there, and that's kind of like, back in the day when Randy Moss, you throw it up there. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he's got mossed. We see that spot on Monday nights, and that was a prime example right there as Doming is the bigger player and is able to leap up and get that over Uba, who is in excellent position. Here's the tie right here. 2-point conversion again to number 4, Joe Moshe, and now we're all knotted up, Nick. Boy, oh boy, we got a new game here.
This is very not good for the Rams. The student section was trying to get the defense into the game, and they scored on the play, and that's just, like you said, unlucky height advantage. And now Springford has let PV back into this football game. The tide has turned.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we said, they're letting their size on the outside. They're using it to their advantage. They didn't do that at all in the first half of this game, the first 3 quarters of this game. And now they're just throwing it up and letting their receivers make the plays. And, now it's time for Springford to make the plays. Who's going to step up in this moment? What are they, they need somebody to step up. There's plenty of time. You have 6 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. There's plenty of time. There's no need to panic. You just got to play Rams football here. And hopefully Ryan Ingro can get some positive yards, get a couple of good plays, and get the ball rolling for Springford.
Yeah, Dave, like you said, I'd be interested to see who steps up. You know what they say, big-time players make big-time plays when it's needed most.
Yeah, right now, we need one.
We do.
He's got the outside. Turn it up. Oh.
That's
boy,
a
oh
great play from number 25, Wantony Brown.
Oh, man, he came from the far side, got a good block, sprung him to the outside, and that's a big play. That'll set him up in an excellent field position, and that's what you need. You need something to gain the momentum back, and that got our team back in it. Gives them good field position here for Ryan Ingro and company, and hopefully Springford can do something with the start of this drive.
And not only the team back in it, but the fans back in it.
Absolutely. We got to get the juice back flowing here, and I think it is. We got to get our crowd here at Springford McNally Stadium and get them charged up, and hopefully our team will be able to field off.
Scarcelli with the screen,
off of that.
And he will get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I like the play call. I want to see him put it in the air. I think the Rams match up well. They got weapons on the outside. It looks like PB's really starting to pack it in on the interior of that defense. They got some big bodies up front. And let's see if Springford can get the ball in the perimeter and let their playmakers do the work on the outside.
Yeah, I'd like to see Springford take a shot deep. And Angro's dropped for a loss of 6 or 7 on the play, and that's, you got to get rid of the ball quicker. You set yourself up for 3rd and long, and that's just, it's not what you really want in this situation. That's just making it harder on yourself.
Yeah, it'll bring up a 3rd and long here, and you could see, I was watching the receivers, and he really had nowhere to go with that football. And sometimes, you don't like to see sacks, but you certainly don't want to see him throw one up from grabs and turn it over. So he's just got to be smart here, get some positive yards, and be careful with the football. Just overthrew him on the outside. Unfortunately, man, I'd have liked to see just a little bit more air on that one. But unfortunately, it'll bring up a 4th down, and Springford's going to have to punt it away with all the momentum going to the brown and orange.
Yeah, Dave, I'm kind of at a loss for words right now.
Yeah, it's been shocking. I mean, no doubt. And, we talk about grind it out, gut checks. Here it is. It's football. It's Friday night. Sometimes things are going to go your way, but they're not always going to go your way for an entire 48 minutes in a football game. As we see an excellent punt here, takes a great Springford bounce, let it roll.
And there is a flag on the play.
And there is a flag on the play. Not sure what that's going to be. Let's see what the call is. Hopefully this will push PV back even further as the ball's going to be spotted at the 15-yard line. Let's see what the call is.
As we await this penalty.
Yeah, this could be a pretty big call. This could really force PV back. And, then we'll see how PV wants to come out and attack this. Do they want to be aggressive and keep throwing the ball, or are they going to be a little bit more conservative with starting way down in their own end?
And it will be against the brown and orange. Blocking the back. And that was just that's a stupid penalty right there.
That's ill-advised, right?
The ball was already on the ground. Why do that to your team? You're just pinning yourself further back.
Yeah, absolutely. But Springford will take it as now PV is backed up to their own 7-yard line. Now be 1st and 10. Springford gets a 3 and out here. They're going to get excellent field position.
That's something we really hope we get to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a big defensive series for the Rams. They've been big all game. Wilted a little bit here in the 4th quarter, but now they have a time to step back up. There's a handoff inside to Stern. Unfortunately, come on, get him. Wow, that's a big-time run. That's a 50-yard run on 1st down at their own 7-yard line.
that's just another defensive breakdown by the Springford Rams. They've got to keep they've got to stay they've got to keep the ground in front of them. You know, they can't let PV get these big breakout plays.
Yeah, that was a quick hitter right up the middle, and you could see there was a big hole. He was running right at us, and you know, fortunately for us, we had some speed on the back end. We're able to contain him, and he didn't take that all the way. But right now, Springford's reeling. Now Sturm again takes it up the middle for about 7 yards. That'll bring up maybe they give him 6 yards. Maybe bring up a second and maybe 4 or 5. Yeah, Springford just needs to be smart here. They need to contain. Again, run to the outside, quick jet sweep to Mocha. Mocha breaking it to the outside. He has the first down and more, and he's hit out of bounds at about the Springford 34-yard line. The brown and orange just has everything going at this moment, unfortunately.
Springford desperately needs to get back into this game.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's a first down run for Moshe on that jet sweep. New set of downs for PV, and they're getting in striking distance here. You know, there's still 4 minutes and 16 seconds left in this game as he drops back to throw. PV has pressure. Springford has pressure on him and sacks him. A big loss there.
That puts him out of field goal range right there. That's a huge defensive play for the Rams.
That sets him back big time, and that's a freshman mistake. At that point, he's out of the box. He needs to throw that ball away. You cannot take a sack in that situation. And hey, give it to Springford. Boy, there's a lot of blue shirts in that backfield. He had nowhere to go. All right, that was a fantastic job. He's 2nd and 21 here with 3:42 in the football game in the fourth quarter. Coming down to the wire, Nick.
Kohler fires, and he just slips through Rowley's hands there.
Yeah, he had him. You know, threw it a little short. You know, that would have been a decent gain. But now you're talking 3rd and 21. From the Springford 38. So here's a big play, big moment.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to give them anything. You got to match up. And I'll tell you, I wouldn't be surprised if they take a shot. If they see one-on-one on the outside with no safety help, he's going to throw it up there to his big receiver. I would definitely be double teaming Damani right here and Moshe, because you know he's throwing it up top to one of them.
3rd and very long from the Springford 38, and they give it to Sturm, and he lays someone out.
I think that might have been Yoon on that one. Boy, oh boy, talking about absorbing a hit.
Yeah.
You know, he stayed in there and brought him down, but boy, oh boy, did he delivered some punishment on that run for sure.
4th and 10.
That sets up a 4th and 10 right here. What's PV going to do?
Looks like they're bringing the field goal unit out, and they'll go for.
Are they really? They are.
They'll go for a 34.
Wow, what a spot.
34-yarder.
What a spot.
Wow.
What a moment.
And it's about to get real loud.
Sophomore kicker coming out to try to give PV the lead late in this football game, little over 2 minutes, 40 seconds. What? Well, we got whistles on the field. Nobody knows for sure up here knows what happened.
This is a 43-yard attempt. That's very long for a high school field goal. But
dead ball, false start.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll push him back even more.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is
what a mistake.
Yeah.
Wow, do they line up and try to kick it again?
I don't know. They only have one timeout left, and we're nearing the home stretch here. 2 minutes, 38 seconds left to play. It's all tied up at 20.
He's bringing his offense back on the field.
So I guess they're going to have to go for it.
Yeah, at this point, again, you got to know where the big players are. You got to know where he's going to go. You know he's going to throw it up. Up top, you have one-on-one. On the outside, top side. Oh, you have safety help over top on the outside. Uba, and they have safety help over top, and we have safety help down here. So 2 deep,
They have Sturm in the backfield, who has been very effective at running the ball.
Big play here.
And they'll send one deep.
Oh boy, are they gonna? He throws the flag.
And he will throw the flag.
Oh boy. You know, we talk about in the moment. Do you turn your head? Do you panic? Oh boy, that's a tough call right there. It looks like they had good position. They had him double teamed, and they chose to throw it. So that'll give them a first down for PV with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in the game. That'll definitely put them in field goal range.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is 15 yards, so it's not going to be, well, this is going to be right at the sticks for a first down, but I don't, is it an automatic first down?
Springford
fans are not happy.
They are not happy.
So is this result in a first down? That's the question.
That's what they're saying.
They're going to measure. They're going to measure. Nick, I think, boy, I can't see from this point. What do you think here with your radar? Are they short?
I think they're short.
You're going to say short.
Yeah.
Well, if it is, boy, they have a big-time decision to make.
One fan just yelled, terrible.
Yeah, it's tough. In that particular spot, this moment,
I don't think
to throw that flag, it was either way. You know, one team's going to be upset with that call. Well, it was a first down. That was a big penalty. First down here with a chance of, you know, the brown and orange running several plays.
Yeah.
Eat the clock, and maybe just settle for a game-winning field goal.
Maybe. You know, coming into this game, we thought it was going to be a close one that came down to the wire, and that's what they've given us tonight. It's been a very good game. I can't complain.
It has been. Well, first down, the pitch is the outside. They got pressure on Mochi up the middle, and they'll stop him for maybe a loss of 2 on the play. And Brubaker takes his second timeout. Yeah, and you got to use them now because you stop them, you have a chance with the ball back, and it's going to take a gritty performance here to possibly pull this one out, and hopefully, you know, if they can, you know, hold them.
Yeah.
Have it come down to a field goal, maybe block it, maybe there'll be a bad snap. You never know what will happen. But you have to play defense here.
That's right. Defense first, and then if there's a mistake, capitalize.
Yeah, some incredibly anxious moments here. Springford, unfortunately, had that big fumble. You know, PV just really had that momentum going. They had a couple long passes on the outside. You know, using their height advantage on the outside. Springford, they're in position. There's nothing they can do when you have somebody taller than you, has a bigger catch radius and arm reach than you do. They were just jumping over us.
Yeah.
The defenders. And, you know, hats off to PV, unfortunately, on this one. But the game's not over yet. You know, Springford needs to dig their heels in and come up with a stop.
2 minutes left in regulation. Still tied up at 20. 2nd and 12 for the Vikings at the Rams 20. They hand this one off to Mocha. And he's in for the touchdown.
Wow, run right up the middle. You know, obviously Springford's bringing a lot of pressure. And unfortunately, they just run by the inside handoff. And Mocha with his speed's able to take it to house. Now, on the flip side,
there's plenty of time for the
Rams.
There's
plenty of time. Springford still has 1 timeout. They are going to get the ball back, and now they're in control. You know, as where the time's running out, you're not in control. So hopefully they can make something happen offensively here.
And PV puts the extra point up, and it's good.
Well, the Brown and Orange has kind of done the unthinkable, you know, scoring, you know, here in the 4th quarter and just having this incredible comeback. But at this point in time, they're going to be able to, they have time. You know, they have plenty of time to come back. You know, Springford's down 7. 1:54 left. Like we said, we have plenty of time. They have plenty of weapons on the outside. And, you know, here we are, you know, 4th quarter. PV's averaging a little over 27 points a game. They have 27 points on the board. we're under our average. We're averaging a lot more points than that, and we'll see if we can come up with more points than that here and maybe send this game to overtime, and who knows, score a touchdown as Brubaker go for 2. But,
yeah,
we'll worry about that when the time comes. Hopefully we can get a good kickoff return and get our offense out there and on the field with a chance to tie.
I'd like to see one run back here. And the kick is up. Yuba's back for the Rams. And he gets a couple blocks, and he'll be brought down at the 30-yard line.
Well, here you go. This is what you kind of play in your backyard. You time running down, you have the ball in your hands, and game-winning drive on the line. Let's see if he can pull his inner John Elway and get a drive going and tie this game up.
And this will really show you the character of the Rams offense, how mentally tough they are. It's been a long game, and they've got to stay in this, and they've got to play till the end.
Yeah, well, this starts up front. He needs to have time. He needs to have time for the blocking up front for him to get rid of the football. We know he has to throw the ball. PV knows he has to throw the ball. The offensive line needs to do its job. And there's a quick hitter outside, and that ball is low. It bounces. That is incomplete, and that stops the clock with 1:43 left in the game. Yeah, Ryan Ingro, he was in 4th grade in my class, Nick, and you could tell then he always liked to play quarterback, and you could tell that he was going to be something good, and he really has developed himself to a good young quarterback here for Spring-Ford Rams. And, Ram faithful want nothing more than, another touchdown. Let's draw it up on the recess yard. Let's get one here, Ryan.
And they fake play action, and it's incomplete.
Man,
almost picked off. That was dangerous.
Boy, I like the play call. Noah Baker streaking through. Man, if he catches it, it looked like he had maybe a little room to dance. Maybe make one defender miss on that quick hitter, and he could have been off to the races. But number one thing in all sports, got to catch the ball first. All right, brings up 3rd down and 10 with 1:39. Still plenty of time. Get a couple of positive plays here. Spring-Ford Ram needs to get something going, though. And again, let's see if the offensive line can hold up.
Engro in the gun, and there's a flag.
False start against Spring-Ford
on the offensive line. Well, I think, if Spring-Ford, they got one chance, maybe 2 if Brubaker wants to go for it.
All right, it's definitely they got 2 chances to get 15 yards.
Yeah,
you don't have to get it all.
No, you can chunk it.
You want a positive play. You need a completion.
Yeah,
that's it. Hands down, need a completion. Whether it's 5, 7 yards, 8 yards, you need a completion here, and hopefully get your offense moving forward.
Engro in the gun, empty backfield. He steps up, throwing deep, and it's overthrown.
Looking for a Scarcelli here. He had a one-on-one matchup, just overthrew him. That's almost that one, Nick, where you want to throw that back shoulder fade where the defender's guarding against anything deep. Get a little comeback route there would have been nice. He would have had a big reception, but, they just weren't on the same page, and Ryan Ingro overshot him. Well, now it comes down to this, Nick. 4th and 15.
Yeah, Rams they just need 15 yards. They don't need a huge chunk play into PV territory. They just need to get to the markers.
And that ball is incomplete, and that will unfortunately end the night for the Spring-Ford Rams as the PV is going to complete their amazing 4th quarter comeback in this Pac Liberty Division, so-called, the right to play, go to the championship. And unfortunately for Spring-Ford, they're going to it's going to be a disappointing night for the Spring-Ford faithful.
Yeah, Spring-Ford battled strong, and they fought till the last minute, but there was nothing they could really do. I mean, they had a few penalties that weren't in favor of them and a few unlucky calls, but, you got to play with what you're given. And just a little bit unlucky tonight for the Rams. They weren't able to capitalize.
Yeah, unfortunately, they didn't execute in the second half. They, up 20-6 at the half.
Mm-hmm.
And really just were a shell themselves offensively. They got a quick turnover, with that short field, scored the points to go up 20-3. But they just didn't move the ball offensively. They just didn't click offensively. They seemed out of sync, out of rhythm, and unfortunately, that was a point in their game. They needed to get some first downs. They needed to get one drive together, and they just couldn't do that here in the second half as the clock ticks down to under a minute left to play tonight at McNally Stadium. And unfortunately, Springford, they're going to have a tough job ahead of them. They're going to be qualified for districts. They have another conference crossover game next week, probably most likely against PJP. But they need to right the ship because they're going to move on to districts. They're going to be a district playoff team.
Their season is not over yet. You mentioned before the game, they're ranked number 6 in District 1. And, this loss doesn't define them as a team. It was just an unlucky loss. They've got to bounce back, and they've got to come ready to go next week.
Yeah, for sure. Tonight, just unfortunate disappointment. You got to pick your head up, Springford. You got to go out there and shake hands. Unfortunately, got defeated here 27-20 on their home field, unfortunately. And, we like to thank our crew tonight. We have camera people. We have Ben Renner, Jimmy Shoemaker, Dana Reed. We have Johnny Z on camera, Miles Bastibule, and Matt Dunn. We have assistant producer Brandon Bortolotta, and our person on graphics, we have McKinley Lynn.
Min Lynn.
And we have assistant technical director Sarah Calamari and Calamari, and sorry about that. And tech director, awesome job as always, Andrew Rothamel. Unfortunately, not the results we wanted here on senior night against PV. The Rams fall 27-20. And for Nick Elsner, Dave Pence, I don't have any more to say. Man.
Yeah, well, you pretty much summed it up, Dave. Unfortunate loss, but, like I said, got to bounce back next week. Thank you all for staying with us. It's been a great game here tonight at McNally, and we'll see you next time.